think we're here already. Hello, everybody. Can you hear us?
Hey, everybody. How are you?
I clicked the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I clicked the wrong thing.
Well, welcome to our YouTube channel. We are the Common Sense Sisters.
Yes.
And you will not blame us for this technicality. This is the second live show of the Saturday Inside.
It's
okay?
It's not easy.
Yep.
It's not easy. If you know, you know.
Ella, this one when they do the technology and the things of the shipping
technical. How do they talk on microphone? Technical heroes. May we not have heroes in Jesus' name.
Now, today,
introducing us.
we are meeting the beautiful ladies, the one and only Common Sense Sisters of the YouTube channel Inside and globally. Okay.
Worldwide, you know how we do. Yes. All of you from the first live show, please be coming here.
These are the only.
What's your name?
Yo.
Ella.
I won't praise myself if I call my name.
All right.
You're always looking for a way to be shopping when I want to talk.
I'm sorry.
Thank you and shit power, my sister.
Carry on. I know go talk again.
We are the delectable, yummy, amazing, funny, straight to the point ladies of common sense. Gathered together to debate with the amazing common sense squads who are globally representing worldwide in this channel on Saturday for live debates. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
If it's your first time of seeing us, do not doubt. Just hit the subscribe button so that you can engage when we are doing the live debate. Okay, that's just common sense.
So that you can join the squad.
And this one, her name is Ella.
Yeah, I'm Ella.
Blonde.
Blonde. Might be blonde today, might be red tomorrow. You can never catch me.
Oh, beautiful.
Can't get this vibe. Black on Saturday, blonde on Monday.
Thank you. She was saying we hot.
Hotness.
Our squad said they even hot.
They even hot. Hot brain.
Those of you that have not subscribed, you are missing it because the common sense squad, their wisdom, man.
Have you ever seen a global squad before?
No. Like, common sense squad, their wisdom, they push.
You are missing out. If you're not part of this goodness, you are missing every Saturday. Your voice is not here. Your comments
is not here.
Your eyeballs are not here.
You are not contributing to historical benefits of the common sense ministry. What is your calling?
What's your gain?
If you are not spreading common sense,
if you not subscribe,
what is your gain?
If you don't like the video, what do you get? If you don't share the video, what do you get?
If they don't want common sense. That's it now. Okay. And for anything for the rules, we have to do all these rules and regulations now because we don't know now.
If you are new to the channel, people know now to be respectful, be open-minded, stay on topic, don't use bad words, subscribe, like, share, turn on the notification bell. If you want to learn more about the channel or the Common Sense Squad, you can visit the About page. Check out our community page as well for regular updates. You can also visit the playlist. There are hundreds of videos for you to catch up on there. And then you can find us on different social media platforms.
Yeah.
That's basically
everything.
The general gist.
You see,
Theory and Alliance is asking if that food website from the last video delivers only.
It's only in Canada.
We don't have plenty Canadian squad members. I mean, maybe people from UK or America. Maybe Toronto people.
Canadians.
Maybe the Canadians.
They probably watch silently. I don't know. Anyways, as we're saying, you see, every time we feel like Nigeria has moved forward a bit, somebody go just carry rope, tie the neck of the flag, and draw us back. Some group of people, when good people have tried to push forward in Nigeria, some small group of people, unscrupulous mind, will just come and tie rope of wickedness and barbarism on the Nigerian flag and strangle all the goodness back.
They will say, where are you going to? Come on, will you come back here?
In this International Women's Month, a lot of crazy things are happening. And the more we try to spread awareness and with the members of the Common Sense Squad, it seems like we're not making progress.
Yeah, that's what
that takes us. That's part of the reason why we're doing today's video, today's topic of today. Thought-provoking topic.
A trip to come out last
and
week.
This is fresh. Last week. This is not like this week. This week, between this week and last week. A Nigerian widow
was stripped naked, and she was almost lynched in her village. Her in-laws in her village community there for allegedly cheating
on her husband. Now, the level of is it barbarism or something in Nigeria?
It's wickedness.
The level of wickedness that some people just decide to take unnecessary laws that they're not even laws. Just decide that, okay, because they are men in society and they don't have value for women.
Even some women that don't have value for
and
women.
some women that support that.
You see some of the
some of them are women there. Yeah. So some group of human beings made up of male and female that support this level of dehumanizing their fellow citizen. They just decide that they will take laws into their hands and humiliate somebody who is going through pain. Yeah, in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, yeah.
Anambra State,
we will read the story.
We're coming.
This is about the plight of the Nigerian woman. That's what, because this is not the first story here. There are other ones that are, you know how we do it on this channel now. There are other ones coming.
So without wasting much of your time, we'll go ahead and read the story for this first one.
Let me start.
Ella is trying to
give me a second so we can work this out well.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I think that if we don't continue talking about all these issues and speak up against the plight of this evil that is perpetuating our society, then wahala go there. We will never move forward.
We're not going to move forward.
You know, we will never move forward, and that's just the truth.
I think it's being shown clearly.
Yeah,
this is good. All right. So
are you able to scroll?
Yes, I'm able to scroll.
So now the title says "Woman humiliated and stripped naked after being accused of killing her husband by sleeping with another man." That's what they are alleging.
I'm sorry.
Slowly. A video was trending online and shows a woman that was publicly humiliated after being stripped naked by some villagers in Agulere community of Anambra State of Nigeria. The woman who tried to cover her modesty in the video was accused of killing her husband by sleeping with another man. A man was heard saying in the crowd, I don't know how to say that, contextually translated to mean she caused her husband's death by committing adultery. The man also said that the woman should remain naked for the world to see.
We are not going to be playing any video of what happened. However, the links to where we got the sources from will be in the description box, as we always do, for you to go and do your further research. So I'm going to swipe past this real quick.
So the Anambra State Police Command has confirmed the incident, saying that the woman was rescued from a mob. So mob made up of both male and female in Agulere community of that state on March 12, 2022. So this is this week. The police said a principal suspect had been arrested in relation to the inhuman treatment. The state police spokesman, Tochukwu, said that the Anambra State Police operative today rescued the female victim from an angry mob in Agulere. The rescue was as a result of the report from a trending video where the lady was publicly molested and assaulted on an alleged incident causing the death of her late husband. The commissioner of police, while describing the act as barbaric, states that one suspect is already in custody and ordered an immediate study of the video with the aim to identify the suspect, arrest them and bring them to book. And further information reveals that the deceased had already been buried before the video started trending. The victim was rescued and she is currently receiving medical care in the hospital. More developments will be communicated.
And after this video broke out, the then First Lady of Anambra State, Mrs. Ebele Obaino, reacted. She called it barbaric and disgusting and condemned the parading of women in Anambra community over adultery. The woman was identified, that's the woman who was paraded, as Mrs. Ajose Obiora, and she was accused of killing her husband, Mr. Obiora, popularly known as whatever in Agulere, by having extramarital affairs. She was beaten, stripped naked by her in-laws, and also forced to swear an oath before their deity. In a statement made through the deputy, well, we already read this in the first story, so we'll go right to what the First Lady was saying. The First Lady further said that how could anyone have contrived to subject their fellow human being to such debasing treatment in the 21st century? I am particularly unhappy because it is a clear betrayal and an affront on the values of our society and counters the efforts we have made in the last 8 years to promote the dignity and respect for women. Mrs. Obiano, that's the former First Lady of Anambra State, said that she has already called the attention of the relevant authorities to weigh in and bring the perpetrators of the disorderly act to book, and it cannot be condoned in the society. Now, the latest update we heard about this news was that the police had arrested a native doctor and 5 other people. If you see them, I think they are the ones sitting on the chair.
Yeah.
In connection to the assault incident of publicly disgracing this widow over the alleged causing of her husband's death. Now, this is a very, very important piece because if you recall, the widow was accused of killing her husband by having extramarital affairs. She was stripped naked by her in-laws and all that, forced to swear an oath and all that stuff. The police is also appealing to members of the public to stop sharing the demeaning video. Command operatives have arrested a total of 6 suspects, including the native doctor, who were identified during the study of the video by the police operatives. These are the names of the suspects. Investigations have revealed that the deceased, Mr. whatever Egwatu, had been sick for some time when his brother, Mr. Udalo, took him to Anthony. Anthony is a native doctor. Anthony, the native doctor, confessed to have taken the deceased on some spiritual cleansing and administered him some herbs before he died. It was Anthony who allegedly told the family of the deceased that the cause of the death of the man was as a result of the wife's infidelity. We also want to use the opportunity to tell members of the public to stop sharing the video. This will help protect the dignity of the woman. I wish to assure you that no stone shall be left unturned in the ongoing investigation, and justice shall be served. The suspects are in police custody and will be charged to court at the end of the investigation. So these are some of the suspects on the screen. So these are the 3. This is what we'll be seeing with regards to this story. So you have a story of a woman who just lost her husband. She has been accused of by her in-laws of having extramarital affairs. Not only is she accused, she is paraded in the village by both men and women, naked in the community. And
a man in the community is the one that said that she should be paraded naked for
the world to see. Paraded, molested, everything in public.
Your fellow citizen.
She was sitting
of your land.
I couldn't watch the video because she was sitting down there naked, and the dead husband was there. His dead body
was there.
Was there. What do you want to see?
You humiliated a woman in mourning.
You say she slept with another man. How can sleep with another man cause the death of her husband when the native doctor gave the man herbs when he was sick?
And it is the man's own brother that took the diseased man. It's his brother that took the lady, that took the diseased brother, man to the native doctor. You not see hospital to take your brother to.
You say they perform spiritual cleansing.
Then you want the woman to swear an oath. Will they tell me? And those people, some of them will call themselves Christians. So
Christians on Sunday, or that is
traditionalists on Monday to Saturday. Then you subject the woman to humiliation. They have no regard. Those people that perpetrated this crime,
the men and women,
the men and the women,
the
foolish women.
These fools, where are they? Where they are faced? Where them they? See them. Look at
the
them.
Foolish. Look at them.
Gatekeepers of patriarchy, stupid and
useless women that are also suffering.
Your fellow woman, if they can do this to this woman, what makes you think
that they cannot do to you?
What makes you think it cannot be you? What makes you?
Then you decide to humiliate this. He's supposed to go jail.
Yeah.
That's the goal. His name is Anthony. Babalawo of Doom.
Anthony Babalawo. Other Babalawo are using their herbs to be healing people, doing good healing.
No.
You are there.
Using your own.
Your herbs is probably what killed this man. Then you go and say spiritually that is because the woman was cheating that her husband died. Does that even make any sense? You know how many men when they cheat on their wife, how many women don't die because of the cheating alone?
There's even no proof.
There's no proof. And this man is buried, so there's no autopsy.
This woman has lost her husband. She has lost her husband. So there's Nigerians.
There's no empathy.
Majority of Nigerians, they lack compassion and empathy. Ability to feel when somebody is going through pain.
Or empathize with the person.
Or empathize with the person. Or sympathize with the person. Or respect the fact that this woman has lost her husband who happens to be sick. He has been sick for a long time. And the man is dead. And all you could come up with.
No respect for the dead because the man's dead body
was there. And they stripped the woman naked. Breast and toto they show. they wanted to deal with this woman.
They already dealt with her now.
You want to carry her to go and swear? Which dating? That was the dating when the husband was sick. In this era,
you know, there's also some communities in Nigeria where if a man dies, they will ask the woman to
drink the man's corpse.
The man's
water.
The body water that they used to bath the man.
Not of you that are going to be married from different places in Nigeria.
Show that
you better be asking them what are their traditions. So, not be when you go lose your loved ones, they go come and tell you, say, these are the rules and tradition in your hometown. And this thing happens to whether you now this woman. Obviously, financially, she doesn't look well to do.
Yeah.
If the woman was a big woman to say, then go carry this nonsense.
They don't do this nonsense now.
They cannot try it.
This nonsense.
They cannot try it.
Because I say, goodness me, my body.
But they hurt it.
I saw the headline, but I was too angry to read the story.
Now the matter with this, so
when I read the headline, I think when it came out on March 12th, I read it like 3 times. So I'm like, okay, woman, blah, 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 because she committed adultery. I said, how can adultery
what's the correlation between adultery and sickness and death?
Okay, they don't have respect for their own soul.
No, they don't have respect.
They don't have respect for the
wickedness.
When they say have respect,
they don't have respect.
Someone that died, they're not supposed to be in mortuary. You put his dead body there, already bombed him with all the whatever in his nose and everything. You strip his wife naked of her dignity. You parade her in the community.
Now, a man, look at when women are properties in Nigeria.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we go. You are a woman, you are in Nigeria, you are a property. We are Nigerians now. No, and we prove it to you today. That the Nigeria is not made to see a woman as a fellow human being.
From the constitution to the culture to the everyday life, the proof is there. Anybody denying it,
we will prove it today.
Even the creatures under the sea in Nigeria,
they have rights.
They have rights more than the Nigerian
animals, female animals in the animal kingdom. They have rights. Lion knows say lioness go waka, go search for things, and you go balance. They wait.
Yeah.
You come. When they bring tradition, they don't balance it. We've talked about culture on our channel, toxic African culture. These are the things we're talking about. Somebody come and tell me tradition.
You know how many men for that ANAMBRA probably go, they cheat on their wife?
Many of them.
Why have they not been stripped naked and paraded in the
the deity now they practice a sexist.
Deity in a man
the
now.
deity is sexist.
Maybe the deity in a man too. Not saying nobody should be paraded or whatever, but just showing you the imbalance in society.
The one that provokes me more. Men go get God too. Now the women. Those useless women that are gatekeepers of patriarchy. Those women, you did not learn from the Abba women riots of your history,
your ancestors.
Of your ancestors. You not see the white men.
You not see good ancestors to learn from. Bad thing that go they learn.
Somebody will not learn from Queen Amina of Zaria.
Somebody will be mourning their husband, their late husband. Now women go still go scraping here. That's the ones that did by
they go shave the woman's head, even though the woman doesn't want to do it. Because there's a woman that will say, I want to shave my head.
Your husband, who happen to be brother-in-law of the woman,
they will collect the property. Come and talk to me about
Okafor law. All those things. They go.
Tell me the Nigerian woman is not just a property. You marry, they say you have lost your indigeneity.
Before we go, first of all, let us put the link for anybody who has anything to share for this story.
Be coming in because only of them will feel they talk the matter. Come inside.
3 other things we are going to address in this video because it's about
the roots,
the plight of the Nigerian woman. The plights.
When I'm going to hear people they say,
when I'm going to hear people
say, our culture and tradition, will you shut up your mouth there? The good culture and tradition, why are you not practicing it?
You will not practice it too.
Why are you not practicing it? Why would you strip a human being? You strip the person naked. You humiliate the person. And then you video.
A woman that is mourning.
A woman in pain. Egosa, I didn't want to show your face.
Because we're seeing your face. Okay. Yes, covered. Okay. So we're going to be adding Egosa on the screen. And before we add Egosa, if you have not done these things, please do them. Thank you. All right. Egosa, we're adding you now.
Hey, sisters, and the Common Sense Squad.
Hey, Egosa.
No, I didn't know. Good job today. You're the boy today. Since oh my.
Yeah, what's that? You're seeing the echo.
I don't stop her. Don't stop her. Is they okay now?
Because our hearts don't they
I said I have to break.
I just closed the main YouTube page. I couldn't realize.
Yeah, thank you. How you doing?
That's just a fear for me anyhow.
Because we know say you bring value to the squad now, so we know they want any echo, any common sense when you
that's kind words from you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well. This topic is not strange, right? We hear it every day, isn't it?
That's so.
And the fact is that even though we hear it every day, we'll never get used to. We'll never get used to it. It's so annoying. It's so embarrassing. It takes us 2,000 years backward. You know. Okay. Where do I even begin? I have like a lot of things in my head. I don't even know where to begin. But first thing first, right? What we saw in that video, I haven't watched the video. Maybe I'll check for the video after the show. I just saw the headlines last week, but I was just so angry to watch it because the headline says it all.
Yes. Yeah. We didn't know what the video
is the whole story.
The first time we saw it was on Instagram. I don't think they had the video on Instagram. So we went to the KG website, and as we were scrolling, that's where like we saw the video playing. So it's like, oh my god, like this stuff is really, really deep. That's why we're able to see, Anyways, please carry on.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. So what we saw was patriarchy in full display. Right? That's you can what we saw in that video, what you saw in that video, you can act a movie on it, you can write a book on it. That is patriarchy in full display. And women, okay, you guys said both men and women were demonstrating.
Yes, both men and women there. Let's put the thumbnail for you to see. So you can see some women there. And
and some men. Oh, okay, yeah, I see. Okay,
yeah. We're calling the women gatekeepers of patriarchy.
Yeah. So the women there are the executors of patriarchy. Men make the laws, right?
Yes.
But women are the executors. They carry out patriarchy. So sometimes if we hear women complaining, oh, discrimination, blah 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 blah. But who are the enablers of patriarchy, misogyny, chauvinism, sexism? They are women. You understand? They are women. And you touched on a point. I just want to be general a bit before hitting on the story, right? Okay.
Yes.
You made a point about laws, unnecessary laws, right? Okay, unnecessary laws being made. I just want to tell you that what we saw again in this video is legal in our society. It is legal in Nigeria because you know why? These are customs and tradition. And here is the link. The government approved. The government recognizes these traditional rulers, isn't it? Yeah. And what we see in this video is part of the culture and tradition. And who is the custodian of the culture and tradition? The custodians of this culture and tradition are the traditional rulers. And the traditional rulers are being recognized by the government. You understand? Right? Okay, so what we saw in this video is legal. It's legal. So Yo-Yo, I just want to disagree with you today. It is not
are you saying it's culturally legal?
Are you saying that it's a custom in that place? Because if we're saying that, I agree that I appreciate the fact that we disagree today. It's going to be hot. I like that. So if you're I'm borrowing your words now. If you're saying that it's legal in our country, right?
Yes.
Or in that area.
Because it's different if you say it's legal in ANAMBRA in that community.
I am directing it to that community. However, we have these things
saying that it's legal.
Yes.
And that the traditional men, the traditional rulers are the custodians.
Yes.
Why was the woman not taken to the palace for judgment? Why is it a man that stood there? Because according to the story, it says A man stood there and said, strip her naked.
For the world to see.
Because that is what the culture demands. That if a woman cheats on the husband and the husband dies, blah 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 blah, we'll naked them, we'll take them to the market square. So it's a tradition.
So
right?
so that, based on tradition, is traditionally okay in that community. But
it is appalling. It is appalling. Yeah, it is an appalling behavior.
Yes.
I am against it 1,000,000%.
We know you're against it.
Unfortunately, these things are legal. They are part of the custom and of the nonsense, stupid custom and tradition.
I perfectly understand, but some people who might misunderstand what Ogosa is saying. This is not legal in the full Nigeria. It's not, because if it was legal, they will not arrest the native doctor. They will not, because they're arresting them based on public display of molestation and all those things. They have all those charges against them. So the community, in that Agulere community in Anambra, the in-laws were able to perpetrate this crime because according to their culture, maybe their culture demands that a woman who is accused of such heinous crimes, this is the consequences being paraded.
Absolutely.
Because we have other cultures whereby when their husbands die, the women have to drink the dead body water of their husbands, or they have to shave their head. So there are things that are cultural. They are not written anywhere, but because people say our ancestors have done it, they just carry it.
They are oral tradition. Oral tradition.
Yes. So it doesn't
they are not written anywhere.
It doesn't mean that it's legal. No, but it's oral tradition.
So like the governor's wife said that we have tried to carry women forward and la 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 la. This behavior is appalling. You understand? It is appalling. But what have you done to eradicate this tradition? You have to hit the nail on the head. You have to consult with the custodians of this tradition to say that we do not want this, to say that this thing has to come to an end. And where does it start? It starts with creating laws, abolishing this kind of laws in the land. For example, you made a show about feminism a few weeks ago. So it goes on now with the first wave of feminism, which is a liberal feminism, right?
Yes.
Okay. Liberal feminism says that men and women are that there is gross inequality between men and women in society. I'm talking about liberal feminism. Yeah. So in order for men and women to be equal, we need legal and social reforms in the society, you understand? In order, so if there are legal reforms, then men and women will be equal. So,
and there will also be consequences, because you have places in Canadian law.
And there will be consequences and there should be consequences to deter such behavior. So legal reforms begin where? So the governor's wife, for example, needs to go to the custodians of this tradition and say, you have to make a public statement, because nothing is written, right? The tradition is oral. So the Igwe has to make it. For Igwe, for example, I can use Igwe. It happens in Igbo land. Okay. So the Igwe needs to make a pronouncement saying that no more in this land. That's the liberal feminism. That's where liberal feminism comes in. That no more in this land. If a woman or a man is being stripped naked, then there'll be consequences. You understand? Unfortunately, no man. Aisha made a statement, a comment that
there's no consequences, my dear Aisha. There's no consequences.
Then again, I don't know if I'm talking too much. Let me give me a minute.
We didn't think speak your mind now.
We didn't think about it.
I want you to understand that when you come and speak, you are not speaking to us only. You are speaking to the world. Your wisdom and common sense, you are sharing it with the world, and that's remarkable. There's nothing like talking too much.
No.
Now,
if Nigerian we want to interject, we
interject. We're listening.
Then again, there is something very, very little, right, that the governors that the first lady said. The ex-first lady said. She said she made a very good statement, because sometimes we are patriarchal without passively, without realizing it. You understand? Okay. So she was against she was against what happened. Good. Perfect. But she said to promote we'll do blah 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 blah, in order to promote the dignity and respect of our women, No, I want to emphasize of our women.
Our women.
That our is totally wrong. It is patriarchal, it is sexist. It indicates possession, right? Nobody owns women. Women are women.
But what if she made it in a way of
their community,
women of ANAMBRA states?
Yeah, because
but she has to say women because nobody owns women. There is not that our women. You know, it shows that women are possessions. You understand? Yeah, because they are possessions. If I own you, I'll do anything. You have to obey me. I can do anything to you. So that the word our, because we've been using this word women all the time. It is part of the problem unconsciously because it shows that we own women. That is why this woman did what she did. Sorry, she didn't do anything. There's no proof. That is why they did what they did for
in-laws did this to
her because
they own her.
Our woman, our in-law, our wife.
I own you. How dare you do this? Because I own you. And because I own you, your body belongs to me, so I can do whatever I want.
Yes. Like property. Yes.
Like property. Yeah. So we should stop. A lot of women always say our women. No, we should stop saying our women. They are women. Nobody owns them. Yeah. They are women. We can say our children, but when they are above 18, they are free agents to the society. So that's it. So again, there is this double standard in our society. There's this double standard in our society. We've said it here already. Double standard. What about men that cheat?
I should ask that question. When a man cheats, he doesn't get punished.
That's it. That is it. Instead, that is where, again, what we talked about, the show you did a few days ago about toxic masculinity. Instead, if a man cheats, he's being hailed. He's being awarded. Instead, society looks down on a man who doesn't have multiple women. They'll be like, which kind of man you be? You should say you be a real man. So you understand? If you're faithful to your wife don't do you juju.
Good men.
Yeah, woman rapper. If you love your wife don't do you juju. That we know normal. So person will love your wife like that. You understand?
If you don't abuse your wife, then
you don't abuse your wife, beat your wife they control you. If your wife don't tire, you wash your wife clothes. Your wife don't do you something
for house.
Exactly. So our society, we are not used to seeing men being loyal to their wife, loving their wife. You understand? Instead, we congratulate them if they have 20 women out there. Then we hail them because that is what men are supposed to be like. This woman, then this woman now, she's supposedly cheated.
There's no proof. He's a native doctor after giving the man eggs.
And a native doctor come prophesy. Everybody prophesy now. Pastor prophesy. I don't think prophesy say now husband. Now she killed the husband.
Because of cheating.
And again, shame on those women. Yes. Yo-Yo and Ella, we all know that. We all know that every woman in our society, in West Africa or black society, every woman, you are potential murderers. In this sense that if your husband dies before you, if your husband dies, there is a high probability that you'll be accused that you kill your husband.
Yes, very true.
High probability. High probability that they'll accuse you. If your husband died, there's a high probability for people to accuse you that you killed your husband. So it's a shame to see those women there.
Yeah.
You know, who are potential accusers as well.
Yes.
Who are future accusers as well. Sorry. Excuse my French, please. Who are potential accused.
Yeah.
Who are potential accused, you understand? Carrying out this act. So it has to stop. It's a shame. It's really a shame. But to conclude for now, my issue is that the solution is liberal feminism. Laws, legal reform and laws needs to be in place to stop this. Because this act is being endorsed right from the government.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. It's being endorsed because they say that is their custom and tradition.
Yeah. And I like how you came at it from the cultural point of view and recognizing that until all these cultures are eroded, there's really nowhere to go forward. And this is because we're dragging the Nigerian constitution today that is also sexist towards women. And this will lead us to the next, let me share the screen, to the next story that we have to talk about.
The foundation of all these problems.
Publication. Yes, so we're going to share our screen right now. Give me a second.
The publication you're supposed to share.
Which publication?
Oh, you're starting with this.
I'm starting from Twitter. I'm starting from Twitter. Add to stream. Yes. So in this video by Michelle Ago, it happened I think on March 1st, the beginning of Women's Month or whatever. National the women Assembly. You can see here, they are women in Abuja at the front of the National Assembly. So this person says this is very unpopular, but today women in Abuja are protesting against the misogynistic and repressive agenda against women by the 9th National Assembly. Are you aware of all the bills that were rejected today? Here is a thread of the Constitution amendments. Now, let me go to the next slide. So these women here in pink, you'll be able to see them. They are protesting. They were protesting on that day. About 5 bills sought to promote more opportunities for women in political parties, governance in the society at large. All the bills were rejected. Here are the provisions of the bills. Bill number 1, denying citizenship to a foreign-born husband of a Nigerian woman, while it allows Nigerian men's foreign-born wives to be awarded automatic citizenship. This means that as a Nigerian woman, you can marry, if you marry a non-Nigerian man, he can never be a citizen of Nigeria. So you cannot give your citizenship to your husband that is not in Nigeria. Bill number 2, denying Nigerian women indigeneity through marriage. As a Nigerian woman, when married, you can never be an indigene of your spouse state. This means that you cannot contest for an elective position or be recognized for anything through your husband's state. Bill number 3, denying additional seats for women in the National Assembly. This means that the additional seats for women in the National Assembly will not be happening. 58 votes out of 91 senates and 208 out of 290 House of Rep members voted against it. Mind you, these are majority made of men. Bill number 4, denying 35% appointed positions for women, settling for 20%. Bill number 5, denying women affirmative action in party administration and leadership. This simply means that there will be no favor for women in general, either in the political parties or leadership positions in general. Bonus bill number 6 for us when they diaspora. Nigeria's diaspora will not be allowed to vote in elections. Nigerian Senate has voted to reject changes to the constitution that allows citizens living abroad to vote in national elections. Only 29 senators out of 92% supported this provision. And for those people doubting, back in 2020 when this NSAS happened, Yo and I started reading the Nigerian constitution. It was that deep. It's on there online. To Google it, you find it. We'll also put the links to everything in the comment section. What the first bill provided of saying that Nigerian woman cannot give citizenship to a foreign husband is very true, because chapter 3 section 26 subsection 2a here states that the citizenship provisions of this section shall apply to any woman who is or has been married to a citizen of Nigeria. Obviously, Nigeria does not recognize lesbianism, so any woman that is married in Nigeria is obviously married a Nigerian man. Meaning that a Nigerian man can give his Nigerian citizenship to his foreign wife, but a Nigerian woman can never do this. So these two are prime examples. I think we'll stop sharing the screen now. We will put the links to everything in the comment section. You all can go and watch it when we are done with the video and see and do further research if you care. But these are prime examples of not only has culture failed a woman, but the constitution allows for failure for the women.
We can call it a gendered constitution. That is a very gendered constitution.
So it means that my own man now that is non-Nigerian, that has been wanting the Nigerian passport. This man has been looking forward to having the Nigerian passport.
Nigerian passport said that they're not even happy.
Can I bust your bubble today? Toby is here. Okay, Toby is here. Okay, can I just say something quickly before Toby comes in? Can I just say something? Okay. There is something I saw. I'm not really used to Nigerian constitution that much. Okay. But there's something I saw there that if a woman gets married to another in another state, then she cannot be an indigene of that state, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now there is something. Okay. Do you realize that most Nigerian women don't have a place? They are Nigerian by name, but they don't have a root in that country. In Nigeria.
Yeah, we're going to that.
They are neither here nor there. They are just floating. They don't have anywhere to go. They think that they are cities, they are not.
Once you get married, it's like you lose your identity. You lose your identity. You are now becomes your husband's identity. You bear his name,
but you cannot also claim.
But you cannot claim from his place. You
cannot pay. Yeah, so you have lost your place in your father's house.
Yes.
At your husband's place also, the government don't even recognize you.
Yeah.
Your husband's family don't even recognize you because they always remind you that you're not from here. You are a stranger here. We only got married here. So at the end of the day, you lost your place in your father's house. At your husband's place again, you have no voice. So you are neither here nor there. You have no root. Nothing. So most Nigerian women are shouting, marry, I want marry. But they forget to know that once you get married, most of the time you lose your identity.
Yeah, out of your state.
We are coming. Let Toby say something.
Because
I'm about to be dragging now.
Okay.
I don't know whether
you initiate yourself inside our conversation when we plan for this video. But let Toby talk.
Toby.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hello. Hello, my people.
Nice.
I am the only one. Yes. I am the liquid metal. Yes. Anyways, man, you guys are ginger today, man. I mean, it's I know, man. I need some of those in my life right now. Jeez. Yeah. So, I mean, where do I begin? Whoosh, amazing topics. I listened from the first video, by the way, even though I could not call. But I was part of the show. I listened, and then the second one that I met right now, amazing topic. So not to take us back, when you guys were giving this, well, okay. So on the first story, I just want to say that you guys, when you were giving a shout out to your dad, he just did bust my head, man, and it made me remember my own dad too, you know. And I just want to use this platform to give a shout out to Mr. Amani, the best dad in the world. I mean, this man, an officer and a gentleman. He served in the Nigerian military. He did 2 tours with ECOMOG during the Liberian Civil War and with the United Nations during Sierra Leone Civil War. This man was at war. This was the days before cell phones and internet. I'm talking early 90s, before we had all of this technology that we have in Nigeria now. I mean, before you could talk to him, we had to go to Bonnie camp and all of that. And he was always writing. He was sending money. I mean, Daddy, if one day you're going to stumble on this platform, on this video, you are the best thing that ever happened to me and my siblings in this world. Thank you. And mommy too. We love you.
Thank you.
If you like, we go cut these parts.
Go ahead and
stop for somewhere. Then you know what? You can then when we go post this part for the channel, right?
Yeah.
Then the Father's Day video, then you can just put up for your WhatsApp status. Then maybe
I'll show it to him. I'll just send it to him. You know.
Yes. That will make his day. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. No, we need to do more of this. We need to, as we talk about the ills in society. Yes, I love what you guys are doing. We need to also give props to those who are, pulling their weight and doing, the needful, like we say, So that's really great. Now, moving on to today's show, Judge Ella. I saw your judgeship skills there with the Constitution.
I cannot believe my eye.
Nigerian law should want to
go. I just laugh for you.
When I read them for 2020, I'm not believing. I know it can't be. Maybe
I have read it before. I've read it before, and that's what we've been saying, Ella and Yo-Yo. Every time we come on this show, we're like, our people are so versed with the Bible and Quran, they have no idea what the Constitution says.
Doctor today, culture too. Native doctor day today.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So you don't know what's going on with you. You as a citizen of a country, what are your rights? What are your privileges? If somebody wants to usurp or trample on your rights, what are the chances that you? I mean, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. So, anyways, I digress. To the story. It is very sad that we're still seeing something like this happen. I grew up with jungle justice. I know it fronts and backwards. Yes, I've seen it live. I've seen a human being burnt alive. Yes, I've seen it. So, and when these things happen, there's a spirit in the air. There's a mob mentality that is going on. Even though you are far, like a mile away, and you have no clue what's going on, you don't know the background story. All you hear is, petrol, tire, oh yeah, Befu, Bonnie, Joe, and then you two, you just join them. You don't know whether the story is true. You don't know what the person has done. You don't know how legit the allegations are. You just get involved and then you are killing people openly. So this is a terrible thing. Now, to the actual story, it's alleged that she cheated or whatever based on some traditional native doctor. Yeah. I saw that. That guy needs to be arrested.
He's already arrested.
Amen. That's good. Now, secondly, I want to say that it's encouraging to see the authorities and the ex-governor's wife speaking out and all of that. That's amazing. But we need more.
Yeah.
So one of the problems we've seen in Nigeria and Africa generally is that the rule of law has not taken full hold in our system. So and it is because of the inconsistencies of the application of law. That's why people take the laws into their hands, because they know that when they report to the authorities, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. So there's a saying in terms of application of laws or whatever, justice must not only be done, but must be seen to be done. In other words, when you are trying to say that, we're going to get to the bottom of this, don't just go behind and try to do some clandestine thingy. Let everybody see that the perpetrators are being punished and being brought to book under the law.
Exactly.
Under the law, not revenge. No, but under the rule of law. Now, let's talk about what she was alleged to have done. What is criminal about cheating? There is no laws. There are no laws that are codified in any part of the world where cheating is a crime. It is a moral indiscretion. It is not a crime. Somebody made it.
But to be the custom and tradition states that it's a crime, right? That's what I was explaining earlier on.
Okay.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get that part, Agusa, and I agree with you because I was listening to what you were saying about how the elders and the traditional rulers need to come out and denounce some of these practices. So don't just say the ex-governor's wife making comments on Twitter or whatever. That's not just that, but beyond that, do more. Let people see and let the leaders come out and denounce this kind of archaic, barbaric practices. That's what we're talking about. Now, let me go back to the point I was making. Even if she cheated, it is not a crime. Anywhere in the world, it is not a crime for you to now decide to kill somebody over that. So
strip somebody naked because they didn't kill her.
Strip her naked. These are sexual. I'm telling you, I've seen this several times. I grew up with this stuff. There's sexual sadism going on. These are sexual sadists. They love, especially the men, they love to see these women stripped. I've even seen where beyond stripping, many of them are being publicly, openly molested. Openly. I've seen it. And I'm saying that it is time that beyond the authorities arresting the perpetrators, God knows what happens when the cameras and the lights are turned off.
Exactly. That's another
You know what I
thing
mean?
really said. This is really in the hospital receiving treatment.
Exactly. So beyond that, these traditional rulers, you're getting paid. With all due respect to all of them, you're getting paid by the government to be a traditional ruler.
Yeah.
Do your part. Do your job. Have meetings on a story like this. Don't sit on top of it. Constitute a body to review it. Call for a press conference. Do something. Let people see that it is time that we make progress as a people, and then be stuck in the past, because this thing is going to happen again. And the next time, it may be your daughter, your son, your niece, somebody closest to you. You think it doesn't concern you? Wait for it. It's coming. So this is an opportunity for us to go back and review some of these archaic, barbaric practices in 2022 that really shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll leave it there for now. But yeah, great topic, great show, guys.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, the people who spearhead this review that Toby talked about are women. But unfortunately, they are part of the mob, right? So who will be at the helm of this reform? That is the major question.
Well, so I remember. It goes a great question, by the way. Great question. I remember during in the heat of the Oduduwa movement by Sunday Igboho that was going on, recently. And it seemed like the current administration was sort of attacking the Yorubas. That's what it seemed like. That may not be what they intended. It's like the way, and not to get too political, but you see how maybe Biafra people have some movements or whatever in the southeast, and the next thing the military is conducting some Operation Crocodile or something like that. So it will seem like the administration has a thing for people in the southeast, but then you have all these other people in the north who are committing all kinds of rampage and no military operation going on against them, So in the height of that Yoruba massive movement conducted by this guy, and it looked like many of them were being persecuted and targeted, the Oba of Ife organized a group of intellectual and political leaders, those who are previous government agents, and those who are in the academia, those who are in the business world, who are of Yoruba origin. He brought them together and he wanted them to come and talk about what's going on and provide solutions. Something like that is what I'm talking about. That's an Oba who stood up in the midst of, he wasn't accusing the government of anything, but exactly, he spoke up and said, okay, let me organize my people. Let's talk about this. What can we do? And that's what I'm saying. So when a story like this happens to this woman, Obas, traditional rulers, Igwe, like they call them, Igwe, I'm sorry. They need to rise up. The laws too. Is that the right word?
That's where it should begin. Now you have said it, right? They should start even from the laws. They should tell their husbands at night, no, this thing is not right too.
Exactly, what can we do? So as you are, Madam Law, you are the first woman. You are the first.
Like Igwe, do something. Yeah. Igwe say something. So it starts from there.
We say something. You don't have to wait for the Igwe to say something.
Absolutely. Ella, you remember the exploits of the Enugu women's riot? About women's riot. All of these people, I grew up thinking, what? I'm sorry, I'm sure I'm not alone on this. I grew up thinking the British people were so magnanimous. They just woke up one day and they say, we're tired of these people. Let's just move on. Let's free them. Because our history was just messed up. They were forced out. These people were forced out by protests from these market women, from high school kids, from college students, from people from all walks of life.
Yes.
They forced them out. And apparently this was what was going on in all of the former colonies of the United Kingdom all around the world. So but what do we have today? We have a docile citizenry. We have people
Oh yeah.
who are who's sitting down in some religious center somewhere, telling them, be
Oh
humble,
yeah.
don't protest, don't speak up, don't speak loud.
You know what even angered me most when we were reading this thing about the constitution and how that thing on March 1st, where the National Assembly and whatever, obviously made up of almost 100% men, were denying women all these laws.
Yeah.
As if they chose that March 1st. Somebody whispered in their ear, international people, they do women's deal, break all the make sure that all these laws you destroy. So when that was happening on this same Twitter space, you know what was the nonsense that was trending? Who is going to pay for whose transport fare, whether a man or a woman? So Nigerians don't even.
That's why I pinned this comment. Nigerians don't know their rights.
Nigerians don't know their rights.
They
Unbelievable.
Don't know their rights. They're not taught in school unless you do government or civic or history.
They took history.
And it was by choice, and you have to choose. We're not all forced to take it.
True. So many Nigerians don't know their rights. They don't know.
Yeah.
Because if Nigerians knew their rights, government never feel they try this nonsense.
If you go to school, if you go to school in Yankee, I went to college here. Part of your prereqs, and elective prereqs, you will take American history.
Bam.
1, 2, 3. You will take U.S. government.
I also did some stuff with Canadian history here. And when I was reading that thing about Nigerian women not being able to give their citizenship to their foreign husband, there's something in Canada called the Indian Act. And at that time, I don't think it's still practiced now. Women who are First Nations people, so the people who were on Canadian land before the white people came and invaded.
Yeah, the indigenous,
Before they came, the indigenous women, they subjected their whole Aboriginal people or whatever under this Indian Act. For the Indian Act, they have different rights that are bestowed upon them from the government. Part of the rights that the men had is that if they marry outside their community, so they don't marry indigenous women that don't have this Indian Act rights, they can transfer their Indian status to their foreign wives. But if the indigenous women marry foreign men, they cannot transfer to their foreign husbands. Yeah. So when I was passionately talking about this thing, maybe in school or at work or whatever, indigenous women, they did not have this, blah, blah, blah. At that time, I don't know saying for my own country. I bring a man that got Nigerian. I'm not going to pick it as it is. And they wrap my mouth for this. I did not know. So I was like, what's happening in Nigeria? And what Nigerians, both men, women, young and old, are caring about are no sense.
It's very, very sad because the focus has shifted. The focus has shifted. We have a new generation, and our leaders at all levels. If you have a bully pulpit and you have a loud microphone, you are a leader. Okay, because you have influence over people. People gather to listen to you. What do you tell them? Are you just tell them about religion, about heaven, about hell?
Toby at the National Assembly, a House of Rep member was bragging about how his fourth or fifth wife is about to.
Do you know the qualification?
His 28th child
to serve. The qualification you need to have to serve. Secondary school certificate. It's in the constitution.
I saw that. I saw him come up there with his 4 wives, and he was bragging. And
the criteria to serve in the Senate, it's a high school. Secondary school certificate. That's all you need.
I just want to.
Whether people have religious leaders that are preaching or whatever, it's not the religious leader responsibility. You Nigerians.
No, of course.
You know about your constitution. These schools.
Of course. No, I agree. And I agree. And I want to give out a shout out. I don't know him personally, but I want to give a shout out to Father Oloma. He's a great man. He's the kind of leaders that we need in this world. I'm sorry. I was just listening to his video. These are the kind of things that we need to begin conversation. We need to begin. I want to echo what Egusa was saying about how women are stuck in between when they get married. I like that point. That is an amazing point. So it appears that our women have been raised to look forward to marriage. Right? It's like
why they worry you today?
Say it appears. It is.
You saw that. I never heard that thing.
We never heard that thing.
So that when you go to your husband's house, we used to hear when you go to your own house, when you own your own house,
then you can behave how you want to behave.
Anyways, so it's a psychological thing, right? So these women have been raised to look forward to getting married, to changing their last names and hyphenated last names.
Eroding the last name.
Egosa, everything want to tell women that are looking forward to marry. Egosa, please unmute yourself.
Not to be the top now.
No, I mean, Egosa was the one that raised it, so I just wanted to kind of step on it. That's a great point. Yeah. You know, like what is if your life goal is looking forward to be Mrs. I don't know. Something is off. I'm trying to be nice here, guys. Don't provoke me. I'm trying to be nice.
I don't like it. Niceness here. I know that. Now niceness. Now you make Nigeria.
If we are nice, we will come on the platform.
Look, having his last name doesn't mean shit. You know, it doesn't.
It means shit, though. It means that you have a new patriarchy property.
Do you have a wedding ring on your finger? You don't know. You don't know what it means. To be Mills in Nigeria.
I mean, like there's so people, women, our girls are so in a hurry to go and change the last name on social media and hyphenate the last name and all that. Come on, and I think
to change the name and some of them will fall for that. Me drop my
brother, you're so right. Like, so you have left your family. Technically, you've disowned them. Even though you haven't, and then the new family you have been adopted into.
For your head with bright price.
Oh yeah, likewise. Yeah.
From here.
No, they remind you that we married you. We brought you inside. You are not. We came to marry you. We paid for you. You know. Yeah. You know. So God help you if the man dies before you. Oh my goodness.
Jesus for all. This name, I don't know whether you're using this name to Jesus, but we name Jesus for all. I said,
you know, to my women out there, find your purpose. Find your purpose and let the man drag his ass into your purpose. Let him come and meet you at the place, the point of your purpose. That is how to live. Not looking forward to hyphenating your last name and adopting his last name and some virtuous woman bullshit. That is just completely
even if the man worth nothing. Even if the man worth nothing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Virtuous woman in the mud.
Virtuous woman that was a slave. Yo-Yo, we've talked about this in the past. She was a slave in Proverbs 31. What was the guy doing? He was chilling by the gate.
He was stealing with the big boys.
He was stealing, and the story says, and the husband, he was the pride and joy of her husband. The pride and joy. The man saw him and he saw her and was so. Me, I'm waiting for the opinion of the woman herself. Because who wrote that story? Was it the woman that wrote the story? Me, I'm waiting. Somebody woke up very early in the morning, went all day to labor and slave away and came back, and the dude was chilling by the gate. Oh, that's my woman right there.
My wife.
That's my wife right there. And it says the pride and joy of the husband in the community. Really? That's the person you want to be. That's the person you want to take after in 2022. May God help you.
Look at Jesus. I don't think I read Jesus is up comments. Jesus is all saying at color. You hit the nail on the forehead. And
I know that they need the nail on head, not forehead.
Forehead. They targeted that nail. They targeted it.
Nigerian women need to listen to people who tell them to be passive and not question. Need not to listen to who not a question. There have been women who fought for their rights in history. Exactly.
Thank you.
When we did a video on Independence Day, I spoke about that Netflix documentary that we watched about Nigeria and whatever.
Yes.
So go and watch it.
Story of an African colony. Yeah.
If you don't want to read history, there are movies for you to
Please,
watch.
I'm here to drag the African men
also,
right about now.
Make me just drop the 2 movies when they recommend.
Towards the end of the video, we'll recommend the movies.
Okay.
I'm here to drag all the African men, responsible and irresponsible. You know why I'm dragging both of them? So that the responsible ones will continue to talk to the irresponsible.
Okay.
Yes, now.
Now, how will you feel, African men, if you, those of you that it's not on your parents' head that you came to the diaspora?
Meaning that your parents did not give you citizenship.
Yes. Those of you that came here, how would it be that you came here, the foreign woman that you married, whether for love or for lust?
Or papers.
No, I don't call the paper. What is the body?
I apologize. I don't leave the screen.
I will shoot your mouth.
Carry on.
This girl. Where we say, well, how will you feel as an African man in your macho self, authoritative figure, handsome man? Then you came to the abroad for greener pastures. Then you met a woman in the abroad who happens to be citizen, whether she's of African descent or not, but she's a citizen of the land. How will you feel that this woman cannot file for you to become a citizen in the country where you are living in?
Maybe marry the men. Because Ella go shoot you.
Can I give a simple answer to that?
Yes, please.
No man will be happy no man will be happy in that situation. That is why all men should be feminists. If men are feminists, when drawing up the constitution, they'll draw up a fair constitution and not a gendered constitution.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So all men should be feminists.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, and Jesus for All is saying something very significant as we remember some of our heroes. See, there are women like Mrs. Fumilayo Ransom Kuti who organized to depose the king Alake of Egbaland. Now that brings me, thank Jesus for all.
Thank you for this.
You are doing well.
You have reminded us of what we talk about.
Now, in the history as we are celebrating International Women's Day, because as ladies of common sense, we don't forget to give ourselves gifts. We say, what better way to celebrate ourselves than to look into the life of one of our heroes? Heroines. Why did they genderize that thing now? I don't know. They call them sheroes. So.
Anyone.
Yeah, some people say, it's kind of annoying. Sheroes.
Heroes and sheroes. Well, heroines. Yeah. We went. Now, one of our favorite women in history, Dr. Dora Akunyili, the woman who came to fight the evil people when it came to
drug barons in Nigeria. When we they go African store, we they look for NAFDAC number.
If NAFDAC number not get anything of the things when they buy from African store, we know they buy them. Dora made that possible. Dora fought for the lives of Nigeria. Dora sacrificed. Even that time when they shoot bullet when he didn't sacrifice, he passed through in Gele, he not one. Now the daughter
she gave up her green card though.
Now the daughter has written a book about the life of her mother. I'm so happy today that this book,
trust us,
where
this
internet.
This they show because of they show now.
I am.
No, we can see it here. I am because we are.
Yeah, by her daughter Chidogo.
Okay.
I encourage everybody. Go on Amazon, go and buy this book.
Indigo, anywhere you are,
Anywhere you are, go and buy this book. If you are a man, buy this book because her father's influence in her life, he did this. If you are a human being,
buy the book.
You are a husband, buy this book. You are a woman, buy this book. You are a child, buy this book. Read it. I started reading it and it's amazing. There's a lot of lessons to read. The story is just intriguing. She was just a woman of, I don't know, so many things. You can't describe her in one word. She was so many things. This is an amazing book. And I'm saying today that we are proud copy owners of this book, of our own. And we appreciate her daughter for the courage to write this book and release it in this International Women's Month. Because at least we have one of our own to look into her life and understand and be able to feel. You know, it's on these people's shoulders that we are leaning on. The strength. I just wanted to say this out there. Yes.
And also, since we're talking about the arts now, for people who this thing might be sounding foreign to them, maybe you're not Nigerians, or you are Nigerian, but you never grew up in Nigeria, you don't understand what's going on. We're going to recommend 3 movies that address this thing. The first one is Fourth Republic. You can go and check it out. This is a woman trying to run for governorship in the Nigerian sphere. Now, female, but now real life, because we had a woman who was trying to run for the governorship position in
Kogi States.
Obviously, she did not win that one. We have another one, Love is War, from Omoni Ogboli. And this one talks about a woman who was trying to run for the governorship position in her husband's state.
And she's not an indigenous of
the state. So you will see stories of everything that she passed through. The next one is Wives on Strike. Women who are coming and fighting against in society like child marriage and different ills, and also running for positions in the society. And there was also Wives on Strike to the revolution. So these are examples of movies and things of the arts
that tell the stories,
that tell the real stories of what we are talking about
today.
So is there any addition to that? We wanted to slide one other story.
Why slide the story now? The men are here.
Another way of showing injustice, apart from culturally,
maritally
position, for the government position of maritally, is also in the workplace. Discrimination in the workplace. Now, every day in this country, they celebrate veterans. In Nigeria, does not get veterans.
They know they celebrate veterans.
Nigeria gets old soldier. They not be
old soldier.
Now,
unknown soldier.
So what you talk to me?
The tomb of the unknown soldier.
No, that one American now.
Yeah, I think that's what they also call in Nigeria, because you know, fella actually used that line in his song back in the day. Yeah, when the whole concept really came from when Fumilaya Ransom Kuti was killed. You know, they dropped her from upstairs down.
Yes,
that was how she was killed. So when the government did their inquiry and all of that, and they came out, they couldn't name the culprit, a particular individual or a group of people. They just say it was done by an unknown soldier.
And today we have unknown gunmen, unknown men.
Yeah, unknown men.
This country very useless. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
So we want to soldier now. Discrimination also is the social land. I think it was sometime, was it in February when this
Valentine
that this thing was released, where a Nigerian female soldier was proposed to by her copper boyfriend. She was in uniform and everything. Do you know that they arrested this woman? As per you're on duty and you are getting proposed to
in your uniform.
I don't know whether you could hear this story, but
I heard the story.
Yeah,
it happened something last year.
Story. Yeah. The army actually came out with a statement to support. They said it's a behavior that is very something unbecoming of some line like that.
They do that all the time in their uniforms.
Yes, they arrested the woman. Obviously, they released her now, but like, as a woman in Nigeria, what are you?
A property.
Are you among those people fighting about transport fare and nonsense thing that don't add value to your life?
Who will pay for first date?
Who will pay for first date? Or are you going to join the likes of them Dora Akuili, the ones that other people that even living? From Mel Basic Wesley to Aisha Yusufu to the women of the Feminist Coalition. Like,
I love that woman, Aisha Yusufu. I wish there were like 2 or 3 of them.
Yes, there's so much that Nigerian women can do, but like
marriage.
Yeah, marriage has become the greatest achievement, you know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No peace inside marriage.
So I hope that one day we will have, by way of preferring solutions, right? I hope that one day we'll have, like in Yankee, we have, I'm sure in Canada is the same, we have what they call independent school districts. Okay. So these are not government run school bodies. So control your curriculum. You get to control how you run all the schools under your district. You know, so there's no central body coming from Abuja telling you in Anambra what to teach your kids.
Yeah.
So now I hope that as things begin to evolve and we have those new private schools coming up, begin to change the curriculum to the kids. You know, bring up these women. People like we'll talk about from Laya Kuti, Florence Ekpo, Florence Itagiwa, Margaret Ekpo, all these women, and even contemporary women who are actually doing things to challenge the status quo. We need to celebrate them. Where are the statues? Thank you, Bukwa Woshika. Where are the statues? Where are their statues all around? Where are the votes? They had the book.
No one that even helped with Ebola that time.
The doctor that saved the lives of people during the Ebola crisis.
You've got a former governor who was erecting statues all over town of people that he doesn't even know personally, wasting money. Yet he couldn't pay teachers, he couldn't pay pensioners, and he was just wasting doing all kinds of things. So I'm saying that even it's time our curriculum itself, from when we're raising kids, from kindergarten to middle school to high school to college level, we have to change the entire educational curriculum, where we begin to elevate our heroes, these people who fought and died for you and I to have a voice today. They did that. They did that, you know. So with that's where we should begin. If you are going to start your private school, you know, have a new curriculum. You know, do something different. So I just want to chip that in real quick.
Yeah. So now that I thank you for your contribution.
Did Egosa have something to say? Egosa, do you have something to say?
Yeah, just two lines or one line. Yes. Yeah, I quite agree with what Toby said, and I always like to go upstream and see that. Okay, because Toby just mentioned about a solution, right? Now let's come because if we don't diagnose, we won't have good solutions, isn't it? The issue is, where did we go wrong?
They took history out of schools.
Where did we go wrong? How come we stopped looking up to women like Amina and Dora, and even the contemporary women like Aisha Yusufu? How come there is this enormous shift to looking up to women like, I'm sorry to say, but Kim Kardashian and all the likes? You understand?
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing. No,
how did we get here?
Marriage now. They took history out of the book. Is the first answer I have to give. When you take history out of the curriculum in schools, then people don't know their rights.
Exactly. Egosa, you can have both though.
And so they cannot question it.
And priorities, not priorities too. There's a shift in the priorities.
Yeah. So Yo-Yo, I agree that we can have both. We can have a society that elevates these women. There's a place for that. And we can also have a society that admires the Kardashians. I love the Kardashians. I don't have a problem with them.
Kim does a lot of work.
Kim does a lot of work.
Yeah, because as a black man in America, I actually celebrate Kim. Yeah. Because Kim has been doing a lot of things in social justice.
Yeah, she has.
You see, they've been through what's this body called? They've been reviewing a lot of botched cases. In the judiciary, especially that are taken against minorities in America.
I'm sorry to say, but if I mention Kim, you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, we get
I get the idea.
It's about why people focus on idolizing things that really don't matter. So, for example, you have some women that care more. Instead of care more about women's rights, they are caring more about how to get the latest, most expensive bag. How to be flew out of the country on money that is not theirs.
A man can come and pay for them.
Man. So it's like, that's what I was saying, priorities. Priorities. You can admire whoever you want to admire, but what are your priorities in life? If we're talking about these kinds of movements and how to make Nigeria forward, because if the girl child is not appreciated in Nigeria, we're not going anywhere. Because it's this same set of women that we raise the neck, because in Nigeria now women, they raise children, unfortunately. It's this same set of women that we raise daughters to be incomplete human beings, and raise sons as well to be incomplete human beings. You, like we're talking about church, whether it's churches or cultural or whatever, there is no system that is working in Nigeria. And when we were talking about our feminist from our feminist videos, we spoke about the only one thing that looks like it's working in Nigeria is the private sector. And which private sector are we talking about? Is Nollywood. Because
the music industry.
Or the music industry. You see that. You can see the shift between old Nollywood and new Nollywood.
These movies I think
they are produced by women.
And
I don't know. I can't remember who produced Fourth Republic, but I know that
the Wives on Strike and Love Is War.
If you're watching new Nollywood today, you can see the shift. You know that the women that are producing this stuff, they went to school for it, they studied for it. It's on their own sweat. You have people like Mo that helped with Netflix coming to the full Africa.
You have people like the Kenoma TV that they built a studio in Lagos to be Nigeria. Like that in the East. So people don't always have to travel to the East. So you can see how the
they're telling stories. So it's like if the priorities are not right in Nigeria, the priorities are not right in Nigeria. Everybody is focusing on what pass my neighbor, or we can be suffering, but my neighbor suffer passing instead of addressing the government.
Or you are married as a woman, you are not married, you are incomplete, no matter your achievements.
You are hating on your single friends, like things that don't matter. If Queen is your idol, she's not only known for her body, she does a lot of other work.
A lot.
Why can't you do the other hard work?
A lot.
Yeah.
Like, so I
guys, and I also, I'm not sure if Egusa was done, but let me just check this one real quick. And I also believe that, you know, our as much as we always I try to shy away from it, but we have to talk about it. Religion is also major. You know, when you are teaching women that they are less than, they are under, the man is on top, the man is the head, the man is the god, the man is the leader. You know,
Paul was a total. Paul made a total mess.
Anyways, look, I'm just saying that. Leave the book leave the book where it belongs. You know, leave it where it belongs. A book that says that. If you a book that says
everything you mentioned
was I agree. But even before him, a book that says if you marry a woman and you discover on the wedding night she's not a virgin, stone her to death. It's there. Is that the book we're using in 2022? We're judging the value of women by the condition of their hymen. Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? So we gather in a building, and that's the book we're using to judge our lives, our daughters, the daughters we're raising. That's how we're raising them, and that's what I'm saying. It's all a compendium of all of these things: social, religious, everything combined to begin to change the narrative to be a better society. Otherwise, the kind of story that you guys highlighted today will continue to happen, where men believe that they have the right, the God-given audacity to do whatever they want and please to a woman because she's just a woman.
I like the fire I'm seeing here. Now we have taken it to the religion. We are happy.
People brought us to church. We say we're not going to bring church, but we're not ready.
We can't escape church in this.
You can't escape church. You can't escape church. Church is inside us. We are inside it.
Yes. We are the church. Yes, we are the church. We are the body of Christ.
We are the body.
Anyways, now that we've taken it to church, right? And it makes sense because it's from church that many women. If you tell women don't go to church, you know that church no go function.
Hey, voila.
If only women need their power of the presence of them inside church, they
women go to learn how to be less than. It is in church women always go to learn how to be less than.
It's true.
It's in church because they tell you not to be. They tell you to be submissive.
Yes.
I don't speak up. I'm so against that word submission. They tell you to be submissive. They preach all those nasty things Paul was saying. They stuff it into your brain.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you become a less than human being.
It's psychological. It's at the end of the day, you go for counseling, couples therapy. The pastor is telling you, hey, sister, you too as a woman, be learning to be quiet now. Be learning to be calming down. Be calming down too. You know you are the woman.
Be more submissive, you know.
Pray for him to change. According to the apostle, he said that a man that doesn't know God, a woman's humility will make him a better man.
Don't call that guy. The man that says that Timothy should not help widows that are under 60. He told Timothy not to help widows that are under 60 years of age. And if you are going to help a widow that is over 60, you have to test her fidelity. She must have been faithful to a man, and she must have been married once. Which means if a woman has been married 2 times, she does not deserve to be helped.
Yeah.
That is this book we are reading in 2022. Jesus.
The worst one is they tell you that your body belongs to your husband.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's the worst one. Your body belongs to him.
Yes,
you know the thing that pains us.
He can have you anytime. So, which means that don't say no to your husband. Don't say I'm tired. I'm not in the mood. I'm tired. Don't say that. Give it to him. that is
Whenever.
become a slave, whenever your body belongs to him. That is utter. I don't want to use the word on YouTube.
Imbeberism.
It's I don't know.
You see,
Yeah.
you know,
you are writing that down.
Imbeberism now. You know the thing that makes me laugh is the fact that you will call yourself a Christian. You say you are following Christ, but the teachings of the Christ himself that you're supposed to be following, you don't follow it. They don't follow it.
Now, in this same Bible, we can pick apart the Paul and whatever, but also remember that there are also good parts inside it that show that Jesus Christ himself is
a feminist.
He's a feminist.
He did not give a damn about marriage. He did not even give a damn about marriage. How many times did he even mention marriage?
We have points to prove. Mm-hmm. Number one that showed that Jesus Christ that was serving is a feminist.
This is very interesting.
When now we're dragging adultery here. Mm-hmm. When the adulterous woman was brought before Jesus because the community wanted to stone her to death, what did Jesus do? Maybe he say he went. They say he wrote something on the floor. What did he do?
He was writing on the ground. Yeah.
He say, okay.
Who is without sin? Cast the first stone. You know, saying
Matthew with the first story.
I'm sorry.
I mean this and what Ella said. It matches with the first story.
Where would they go now? Where would they go?
Exactly.
Because he's saying Paul did this, Paul did, but Paul not the only book for the Bible. There are many other books.
Say there are people that when they go, they don't read. Mm-hmm. The people that, and I know people are targeting that Paul because it's on that Paul's preaching that the pastors and all these religious leaders they always use to drown people, right?
They want to show people other parts of the Bible so that they can read too.
We the common sense that we are saying today that this Jesus one that the inside Bible is a feminist,
a fair God,
a feminist.
I agree.
Number one is that adultery. Then he raised up his hand and said, he is without sin, cast the first stone.
What did we hear that? They said the people from the oldest.
Wait.
Then
one by one they walked
away. Because
and then the Christ said, according to what they talk, say, me, I no go condemn you. If nobody has condemned you, me, I no go condemn you.
Go forth and sin no more. Because when they carry the woman to stone her, they not bring the call for the ketio. We don't know whether your husband too. They are adults. They are adulterous.
Wait,
for that time.
Story number 2 is coming now. Story number 2. You remember that time when we say one woman? I don't know the woman, but they wash Jesus' feet. That time.
Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene.
The useless Judas.
Not useless.
Judas is cannot to say useless.
Why is he useless? Suppose in purpose now. If you will in purpose.
No, it's a useless person.
I love this Bible study today.
Useless Judas is character of doom. He said, my Lord. Wow.
Yeah, my Lord.
Yeah.
On YouTube. He said, my Lord. Wow, this expensive perfume have been an oil that they are using for your feet. It would have been better if they sold it to giving the money to the widows. I see Jesus Christ when be itinerant preacher, no need foot massage. Mm-hmm. And the Jesus got tell and say, what did there? The poor, they will always be with you. Mm-hmm. Please, let me enjoy myself. I'm paraphrasing. Let me enjoy myself.
Leave this woman
That's the day that even your Lord like good things. Mm-hmm. Then number 3, the children.
I don't care for children today. Now women are they talk about.
Okay, who's other women?
The next woman, when Jesus went to go and visit Mary and Martha, when their brother Lazarus was alive, and they say Martha, Martha, they cook. Martha, they cook for living bread. Mary was at the foot of Jesus listening, and Jesus was giving wisdom to the men. Mary say, make him listen to our Lord. Martha come from kitchen, say, Mary, I'm in the kitchen cooking for our Lord. What are you doing here? What Jesus? Did you say, leave her for me? Leave her. There's time for
the best time is to spend time with
her. And she has chosen the better path. Yeah, Jesus said she chose the better path by spending time.
Yeah. Now, another thing before Jesus, from Jesus' lineage, in ancestor, na feminists, Boaz. When Ruth go work for Boaz farm, now equal pay. Let's check it out.
When he saw that injustice was being meted on her because obviously she was a foreigner, she's a Moabite, right?
He said,
no, let this woman and all this thing. Don't do that.
Try her.
You know, she's from Naomi's. Don't do that. For Naomi can advise and say, go and meet Boaz in the night and lay beside him. But Boaz,
may you look good, self. Say, may you put on your makeup, you look good before you go.
He also Boaz know the importance of equal pay. What is that thing? Another thing that showed that apart from Jesus, the Christian God, is also a feminist. He also believed in seeking consent for the women. How we know? Because in the Bible, how was Jesus formed? They said the angel went to Mary and he told Mary, he said, the Holy Spirit will descend upon you and you will be pregnant with a child who you will call Emmanuel. My name is sick.
And the woman say, how can this be? I'm a virgin.
The Holy Spirit tell her how you go. Angel Gabriel tell her how you go. And Mary come accept.
She said, okay, let it be
God
done to me.
sought consent from Mary before he said this was going to happen. How you go think her? Mary go say, okay. Mary said, okay, let it be done to me.
As to your will.
Mary gave consent.
Consent. Yeah.
God not say, hey, you go carry my son.
Open your toto.
You go carry my son.
I go put my son through.
You are the one that will bear the burden of being a mother of Christ. No, he asked for consent. Jesus was
because it's her body. It's her body. It's her body. So she needs.
These are examples of from the same Bible when people they read from back.
You forgot. Sorry, guys. You forgot when Jesus resurrected. Who were the first people to see him?
Toby, you didn't read our notes. You are nice. You read our notes.
When Jesus died, all the men
they hide for corner.
They go they hide for room. They hide for room.
They fear to see ghosts.
They hide. What happened to women? They
went to
they run.
Why are you people hiding? Where is the Lord? Have you seen the Lord? They say
they run. We could narrate the story where they run. Before we even go where Jesus died. For the Catholics, when they teach, they say when Jesus was carrying the cross, he was bleeding, he was crying, he was sweating.
Mary Magdalena,
not Mary Magdalena, Veronica. Now Veronica go wipe Jesus' face. All the disciples, they're not a shock with the Lord. They're not there. The people that were flogging and whipping Jesus, did they go and say, Veronica, will you get her from there? No. They are now. Wipe your face. Jesus can't die. On the third day, the women, the disciple women, the Mary Magdalene, Mary and whatever, Mary and Martha, they say, our Lord has not been embalmed. We have to go and embalm him. And then they say, but there are soldiers there who will roll away the stone for us. They say, no worry, make we carry our oil, let us go. They went. The stone was already rolled away. They went to go and look for their Lord. The angel was there. He didn't say, who are you looking for? He said, we're looking for our Lord. He said, go and tell the disciples. Go and tell them. Galilee.
He said, has risen.
He don't rise. He don't rise. Yeah. He don't rise. He don't rise. These women, they went to go and tell the men. The men did not believe them. The men did not believe them. They still go on their own. He said, why are you coming here to come and look for the Lord? We have already told the women where he is. The Bible, he recognized the cocoa, he recognized
the Christ that they are talking about.
He recognized women. He knows say women get voice. He knows
and the importance
and the importance of women.
The woman at the well, uncle, he did not judge her when he was telling her the story. He did not judge her.
Of having a man.
That's another one.
Yeah, you remember that one? Yeah, he did not judge her. And what do you want to say? I've met somebody that told me so many things.
Everything about
Yes, without judging, you see how.
Yeah. Come and see somebody who told me everything.
Common sense.
Everything about my life.
A feminist God. If you want to look at the Bible, read that way.
Common sense.
Not the one where you go to read upside down.
You never judged women, but in our society, in us, they judge women. They judge them. We hold them on a very high standard than men.
Egosa, we are. If we're going to be honest, Christianity is not the religion of Christ. It is the religion of Paul.
He's a Jew now.
He's a Paul, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Toby, good.
Christianity is the religion of Paul. So that is the fact.
I've got that one today, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so now that we see guys, I've always maintained this. I don't care what anybody believes. But when I respect your belief, I respect your religion. I respect it's your choice who you pray to, who you don't pray to, or whether you don't even pray or pray at all. Yeah. I don't care. But when your belief system begins to impact society negatively, especially when you are in a position of authority, where you have influence over people, that is dangerous.
Yeah.
And that is why we need to speak up.
Yeah.
So I don't care how you read your Bible, how you upside down, sideways. I don't care.
Apply common sense.
When you begin to do things and then claim God says, and then claim the Bible says, and then you are denigrating women, you're reducing them to the status of property. You think that they don't have a voice. You think that in an arbitration or in a counseling, they don't have equal rights. You think that the men should always win. It is the women that should always pipe down. You know, instead of you to objectively look at the issues, look at what they're talking about to bring about a solution. But no, you won't do that. You come in there with your patriarchal mindset, and your default understanding is that the man is always right, women are troublemakers.
And
it was a woman that ate the apple in the garden. Even Peter, I'm sorry, even the same Paul told Timothy that the man did not sin in the garden. Do you guys know that? He said Adam did not sin. It was Eve that sinned. I'm like, how the fuck do you say that? We read the story.
Yes, misogynistic, chauvinistic character.
I'm like, what the fuck? We read the story. It was both of them that sinned and got punished. And now you come and tell us that, oh no, Adam did not sin. It was Eve. Sorry, Ella, I don't hear you.
Not going to lead us to another. You know how people going to say, pray to God that God should give you your husband or your wife.
Oh,
no, you know why? You know why they laugh? Because God gets sense. Now, God don't learn from your experience. Say, okay, now he give Eve. I told you the way they talk now for Bible.
Now he give Eve because when Adam sinned for Genesis, when God calls Adam, my son, where are you? Adam said, I'm hiding. Why are you hiding? He said, I'm naked.
I'm naked.
You know you're naked. It is the woman you gave me. To eat. My hand now open wide.
That's where Paul drew his inspiration from. You know.
Well, look. We're gonna call it spade a spade. It was patriarchal. Do you even know that all of the right? To your point, you guys, when you highlighted the things Jesus did to support women. Do you know he corrected all of the writings of Moses?
Yeah, he did.
So imagine when the nation was emerging, Moses was this despotic leader who was making things as he was going. Mm-hmm. So whatever he made, whatever rule he brought down the people, he was law. Mm-hmm. And then he was from God. Mm-hmm. But to tell you that most of them were wrong, Jesus came and said, I know it has been said, but I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But wait, hold on. Moses told us to divorce our wives for any reason. Because part of the patriarchal system is that a woman is nothing. You can divorce her for talking too much, for putting too much salt in the food, for anything. You can divorce. So that was what Moses told them. Just write a letter. Just write a letter and say, I'm done with your ass. Move on. Jesus said, no, it's not like that. Moses was wrong. It wasn't like that from the beginning. So what am I saying? When you read that book, all of the book is not God.
Yeah.
It's just people and their whims, their caprices, influence Jewish history. And by the way, they were not writing to you.
Thank you. They say address to the people.
They were not writing to you. They were not. It wasn't writing to you.
State or Anambra State or
exactly. He wasn't saying Egosa in the future. I think that if they knew that one day we will be here reading their writings, I think they would have been more careful.
I think so too.
They would have been more careful with what they wrote.
Yeah, because they did a lot of harm.
Oh yeah, now we sit here, we are every little thing somebody says in the book of, every little thing somebody says in the book of, every point they make in book of, in the book of.
Use their brain. They can't use their brain. Once you take away that Bible, you realize they are
guys.
empty.
You know my story. I did this for many years. And I'm telling you, it's like reading the writings of Nostradamus, right? So you are going through every comma, every period. Oh, this is what it meant. Oh no, it didn't mean it this way. And then you can read whatever you want into the thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is staring you in the face. This is what it's saying. Women are nothing. They are property.
And you believe it.
And then you believe that. You take that in 2022 and you're using that as what? A message, a sermon to your people. You should be writing your own Bible.
And that's why it is even reflecting right into the constitution of Nigeria. You know
what? Exactly. That's what you just nailed it. And that is now feeding into our society because there's a mindset behind these things. Culture, yes, we came from a time where our ancestors did their thing, but now many of us have shifted. Thanks to the Europeans, we've shifted away from the ways of our ancestors. We admit that many of the practices were not actually right.
Yeah.
But even today, that we should be shifting to something better, we have swapped our ancestors for another ancestry. I'm done.
You can interpret the Bible however you want it. It's the same Bible that slave masters came and they used it to justify slavery of the black man being under the white man. So that's the thing about the book. It can be used in however way you want to. Now, you that is the listener, are you reading it for yourself? And
Ella, today we are the ones telling them that the Bible says. We are the ones telling them that the Bible says. Book when they bring for us, and we they tell them. They don't apologize for okay, for example, they have apologized for incriminating LGBTIQ, right? Because they are the ones who told us that it was bad, that book. So now they have apologized. They say, okay, we were wrong. Now they have legalized it. LGBTIQ in all the Western world is being legalized. But now we are the ones telling them, no, our religion is against it. Religion, what I bring for you. You know?
So let me, sorry guys, I just read a comment. Oh, sorry, I guess I'm not sure if you were done. Go ahead.
Which one?
No, it's okay. I'm so sorry. Yeah, but
okay.
We are the ones telling them now that the Bible says the book that they brought to us, and a book that they have so much neglected already.
Yes.
Okay.
And we are now living the alive. Now we are the ones telling them that the Bible
is
against our religion. It's against our religion. What religion? You know.
So I wanted to respond to one of the comments I just read. The person was saying, I think Jesus for all. That when I was speaking, we're not saved as Christians, we're not saved by the Old Testament, but we're saved by grace in Christ, something like that. Now, did you know, caller, with all due respect, that part was added by Martin Luther, the Reformer? It was not part of the original script. When Martin Luther was protesting against the Catholic Church in the Protestant Reformation, he had a lot of issues with the church. So eventually, when the church realized that they could not, shift him or stop the protest or the movement, they gave some concessions. Now, part of that concession that they gave, indulgences, priests giving forgiveness, Luther was saying that, look, all of these indulgences, good works, priests telling you your sins are forgiven, all because you come for confession, all of that is not consistent with the New Testament. And so what he did was he rewrote. Luther rewrote the Bible. He added the part. So it was a contest between works and grace. Works meaning good works, helping the widows, helping the needy, improving society. And grace meaning you don't have to do nothing. It's God that just gives you salvation. Luther wanted to emphasize, to support his movement, he wanted to emphasize that only grace can get you saved. So he added that part. He was not part of the original. And secondly and lastly, if you read the book of James, James was a Jew, a follower of Christ, who became a Christian, but he kept his Jewish roots. So if you read the book of James, his emphasis was helping the fatherless, helping the widows, helping society. Luther did not like that. Luther did not like that. And so the story goes that Luther actually ripped off the book of James from his Bible. He ripped it off. So when we read these things today, we have to understand the history.
Yeah,
it's coming from their personal opinion,
personal whims and caprices, edits, and everything.
They just write according to how life treats them. Then they write according to their
book has gone through different phases of edits and additions. Everything. So let's be careful when you say you want to apply something to your life today. Look, again, guys, with all due respect, I don't care what anybody believes. I respect your belief, but please, we have a common society and we have a common responsibility to live a healthy and fulfilled life. Be careful. how you impose a writing from 16th, 13th century to influence people's lives in 2022. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So thank you so much. Adewale.
Oh, wow, we go Bible study today.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Hi, everyone. Yeah, how you guys doing?
Right, please come on. You will either intensify the fire here or you will help us to quench it.
Long time no see.
Yes, so yes, so.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Hi, Mr. Tubi and Mr. Gusa.
Ah,
how you guys
Adewale,
doing?
brother, welcome. Good
Very well,
to hear you.
welcome, Adewale.
Yeah. I saw the topic of today's discussion. I was I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about it all over social media and like traditional media. Why is it convention? I didn't know how they say it. But I wasn't really surprised because I think there are actually a lot more, like there are a lot worse stories than that one.
Yeah.
That just happened and I think the reason is because, like, regardless of the modernization of our culture, or would I say modernization, or regardless of the century we're in or the religion we've accepted, culturally, women in Nigeria, unfortunately, are still seen as less than. It's just plain facts. The way we think about women, the way we approach women issues, the way the girl child is seen in the society, if when you compare it, like there's certain fundamental things that are just so messed up when it comes to women issues in our culture that sometimes when you think about it, you're like, this is not supposed to be so. But we don't address those issues. What we address are the symptoms, which is almost the same thing we do in every aspect of our life in Nigeria. So rather than addressing issues in our society, we see our government setting up committees all the time to discuss issues rather than address the issues because they know what the issues are. They just don't want to address it. They just don't want to address it. They just so when I saw that story, it just like the way they treated the lady was is because they felt like when it comes to like sexual relations, kerewa in quotes, the woman is serving. I know some YouTube channels say they do like YouTube don't like that word. Okay, all right. So when it comes to sex in our culture, it's not seen as a mutual relationship or a mutual benefit amongst men and women. It's seen as the woman serving the man's sexual desire.
Yeah.
So if anything happens to the man, it's the woman's fault. So that's how the punishment was interpreted in that woman's case. So that's just like even like sex. So when we come to other issues, like even in our constitution, where any woman that gets married to a foreigner is no longer seen as a Nigerian. That's because in our culture, the
Nigerians, but they cannot file for the man to be a Nigerian.
Exactly. Like because that's because in our culture we see women as
properties.
Exactly, as property, not just properties, but as gifts. Yeah, gifts to the man. So what that means in the constitution is once a woman moves out of the Nigerian male environment and goes to another culture, she's been given off to that culture. She's no longer Nigerian. She just has the passport, but culturally she's no longer Nigerian because she has accepted the man's culture. So that's how we interpret it. Because in the people who make our constitution, the parliament, they're mostly men. For one, even the women that are there, they're very, very traditional.
Yes,
even
part of patriarchy.
Exactly. They're not the modern like woman. They're still the very, very traditional woman. So they still mainly accept the cultural aspects of women issues. Like they accept it. They actually even support it more than the men. So it's just like if we really want to solve women issues in Nigeria, like that's why like when I see this like campaign like break the bias and all these things, I don't it's not like I don't support it. I'm not against it. I'm just like in Yoruba there's something we say yimu. It's like I just
you don't
make
get
this.
moved, right? Adewale, you don't get moved, right? With those
I don't
things.
get moved. I just make this face. I'm like, you guys are just. It's
You make
patronizing
this
at
face
best.
like this.
Exactly that face. I don't have a camera. That face, because it's just patronizing at best. It doesn't solve the issues. It's just like your. It's just like because you even think about it on because actually I'm actually born on. I'm actually born on International Women's Day, 8th of March. So my birthday is
March
like
8th. Oh, happy
yes, that's what
birthday!
Thanks.
Why did you tell us that they
Thanks.
were for you last time now?
Yeah. So whenever I have my birthday, this I always see this political. It's kind of political and patronizing events all around,
Yeah.
and it's not. They don't really address the issues. It's the same type of women they always bring at the forefront every day.
Yes.
It's not diverse for one. It's just the same type.
Yeah.
It is. They don't like when I think about women in my own personal life, and I see the women they bring to the fore. I can't relate.
That's true.
I can't relate to you because it's just the same type of women, the same demographic, and the same
economic status.
Exactly the same, like what's the economic class. They're all like the top economic. They don't talk about the average woman, how the average woman suffers in society. They just market the women of the higher class, the women who are born silver spoon and all that stuff, because they're trying to be patronizing. They're not really solving the cultural issues.
It's all a business strategy. Nigeria.
It's all, anyways, it's business. It's business.
Yeah. Same like Black History Month. Many people,
Yeah.
many conversations might not care about black people, but it's all about the vibe and what's trending.
It's just vibes, exactly. Even the Black History Month thing, I'm also totally. I don't even buy that one too, because it's like
that was another story.
there's another story time. Because the thing about all this like these days we celebrate it, most of them don't really make any sense, at least to me. It's just like they always, those days are just patronizing. They just choose that day to celebrate one thing, but they don't address the issues.
Yeah, but
They don't address the issues at all. So until we start addressing the issues of women culturally, where women in certain even till today, there are certain cultures where women are not even allowed to inherit their father's properties.
The Igbo culture now.
Yeah. I don't want to say the Igbo culture entirely, but there's certain like subsets of the Igbo culture that don't even allow that. Even in the Yoruba culture, whenever I still remember, like when I was young, like because on on New Year's Eve we always go to like our grandfather's place. He was still alive back then. All his children and his grandchildren and his cousins, they'll all come together, and they used to have these meetings. And I always noticed, like, my mom would just be in the kitchen because, like, my grandfather used to, like, he would slaughter different cows and rams, would eat and all that stuff. So I used to run to the kitchen to, like, because my mom, when I just get there, she just give me pieces of meat. I just enjoy. But I just used to ask her, like, why are you not with them in the sitting room discussing like main issues in the family? She would not say anything. She would just like keep quiet and then shove the meat in my mouth, like, be quiet. You don't understand. But she wouldn't say anything. I just used to wonder, like, why is it like that? I never asked my father because, anyways, my father really, I wasn't really close with him. But it's just the way it is. Even in the Yoruba culture, the women are not seen. They're not the only type of woman who is seen to address issues in the families if when the woman is like really, really old. Matriarch, exactly. Apart from that, the women in the family, they don't even when it comes to issues that affect them mostly, they're not there to solve the problems. The men in the families will just like address the issues. Like the women are just put at the backbone. So it goes across different cultures, like different aspect of the Nigerian. I don't know much about other cultures in Africa, but in Nigeria, mostly women culturally are seen as less than. Yeah. They're not seen as part of the society. They're seen as like
as tools.
They're just there.
They mean
just
to produce food and to produce children and to use them for the man
and to use them during
politics. Yeah,
exactly.
And to use them during political movements.
Exactly. Because
use their population for votes.
Yeah, exactly.
They use them to cause havoc. So they use them to cause, different things. But
exactly. I mean, even look at what the politicians do during the election week. The first demographic of it's not even like the first demographic of people they go to the market women.
Yeah.
Because they know like most of the votes come from that demographic.
Yeah.
Because actually more than half of Nigeria's population is women. So actually it's above 70% if you look at it like critically. There are more women than men in that country. But the men are still the one in power because culturally women are just seen as the means to an end. So like when I see people on social media argue and all, like I don't see anything because I just know that like until they address that issue, that main issue, every other thing they're doing is just you're just like treating the symptoms. And in medical science, when you're treating the symptoms, you're just like prolonging the problem. You're not solving it. So when I saw the story, I wasn't surprised. I felt sad for the lady, but I wasn't surprised. I wasn't at all. And I think one of the ways of actually making sure that women have like better lives in Nigeria is if the country is growing economically.
And we need women.
Exactly. That's
there was an article
that's the thing.
I think we said it in one of our feminist video series about how if they start, if there's equality in the land when it goes to respecting the rights of women as you respect the rights of men, the GDP of the country will grow.
Of course, because actually, for the most part in Nigeria, women are the one that spend more time with the children. So if the women are not educated, if they don't know their rights, the children wouldn't know their rights.
Yeah,
it's just the way it is because the men in the family, I don't know how maybe it has changed now. When I was back in Nigeria, most of the time the men are never at home.
Yeah.
Even if they're at home, they're busy.
Here. Now you are here. Good.
They're busy watching the news. So
we're here now. Now I'm so happy that you're able to make it at Adewale. Because remember that in the last video last week when we did the video, remember how you talked about this whole like we can consider this whole absentee father and all the stuff. So we did that in our first video.
Yes.
We kind of suspected that you will not be able to make it in our first video because we kind of studied that usually towards the second video if you're available, you come in.
Yeah.
All the men that are here, since they did not, some people didn't call in that first live show, which is okay. But we can address the absentee father stuff. Right? So Egosa and Toby and they were listening to here. What, and as men, are you able to, shed more light on what the impact of absentee father is in the life of a son?
That's a very, very it's a very I don't think we can finish that topic today when we start, but as a boy, growing up as a boy without your father, you're like a computer that does not actually know what programs to install.
Oh my!
That's like because I'm in the technical world, so that's like the very next. Because as a man, like as a boy grows to become a man, and there's certain like stages in your life as a boy that you get to where you need your father to kind of guide you and tell you this is wrong, this is right. Because as a boy, especially when you're going through puberty, like there's a lot of changes. And there's this one particular hormone that we all know that it's like that testosterone. So people think of it as just like a regular hormone. Me, I think of it as a powerful drug because because he's responsible for a lot of like differences between men and women. It actually it allows men have more physical strength than women. Generally, like when you look at the difference between a man and a woman, I know in today's society there are a lot of people who don't like to talk about it, but me, I always talk about it because it's very important. When you look about physical differences between man and woman, the major hormone that is responsible for is that testosterone. So when a boy is growing up, you don't like a boy doesn't really don't know how to handle responsibility of that drug, because the boy becomes very violent, because once any human being, once you receive power at the very first stages, you don't really know how to control it. You need someone to guide you. So when the boy starts growing up to being a man, he starts growing the muscles, starts having all this like physical strength. If the man is not there, if the father is not there to guide that boy is most likely to end up in jail.
You think so?
Most like it's
Statistics also show that.
there's actually statistics to prove it in America. I don't know about other countries.
Mhm.
Most likely, because I remember growing up as a boy, like there's certain times I've almost gone to the wrong path, but my father was just there to like stop me. It's not just me, even my younger brother growing up, he was very, very stubborn and violent. Sometimes my mom would say that she doesn't know, even sometimes when she thinks about my younger brother, she's always grateful to God that my mom just said all of a sudden he just changed. Like he just changed from this very stubborn boy to be this very
And
leading, responsible
Adewale,
man.
and can I ask you then, why did your younger brother change?
Because my father was there. My father was
Okay,
there to
so
stop.
your father made him to change. Your father was an influence in his life,
In his
right?
life, my father was kind of there to just stop him at every point, making sure
And
that
don't you
my
think that your younger brother, even in the presence, oh, you are Ella, I'm not taking over your show.
yeah, 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 I
No, no,
understand.
no,
Like,
no, 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 no.
ask the
You're not,
questions. Ask the
okay,
question.
I like the
Okay.
conversation going on, and
Okay.
it's
So
really
don't you think that even in the presence of your father, your younger brother made the choice to change?
He did, but my father influenced that choice. My
I
father
don't.
did.
This is the part that I really don't agree with. Not just in this conversation, in a lot of conversations that I've had, because like I said, I made a quote last week. I just want to repeat it again. We are not the product of our environment. We are the product of the choices that we make, right? So even in the presence of your father, I believe that your younger brother made the choice to change. He decided, he saw the good and the bad, and he chose the good with somebody there at his guiding light, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think our choices are independent of our environment, though.
yeah, that's true.
Actually, our choices are influenced heavily by our environment, because our choices come from somewhere. They don't just appear like it's not just something we think of. It comes from what we see and what we experience.
And here,
Yeah, and also the choices come from options that we see. We have a lot of
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
options,
That's what I'm saying. The
and we
options that we see.
choose the one that will shape our lives, right?
but a
It's
young boy
you,
do not necessarily have to see all those options
you
first.
don't like as a young boy growing up. We almost never see those choices, because I
It's a
how do I
certain
say,
developmental stage.
a stage. There's a certain development stage in a boy that we feel on top of the world.
Okay, because
It's
Because I
I
understand
don't
what
know.
you're saying, but you are probably looking at it from the adult side.
Adult stage. That's what you're looking at it.
okay, because with me, right, I have a different opinion because okay, I am okay. A bit about myself. I am from a single parent home. I grew up a single mom brought me up from 0 years right up to the age that I am today. I never had a father in my life. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I just to make it short, because we've had a long time already, and I've never, there's nothing in my life, I've never had a father figure like this one is my father, right? No.
Yeah.
But I believe, I don't want to blow my trumpet, but I believe I turned out right.
Blow it.
Blow your trumpet.
Don't
Yeah,
ever
you
be
did.
humble about it.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe I turned out right in life, right? Even though I did not have a male model in my life. Everybody, even outside my mother, I mean my mother is a queen, but even outside my mother, I don't have female I don't have male figures that I look up to. Even from the books that I read, I mean, like I love Toni Morrison, I love Oprah Winfrey, I love Maya Angelou. All those strong women are the people that I look up to. The only male that I kind of look up to a lot is Barack Obama, and it ends there. Okay, so I just want to say that the role of it, because that's why I emphasize on choice, right? Because I chose to make my life better. I and my younger brother, even despite the fact that we did not have a male role, a male role model in our lives. I mean, my mom took up the battle to see that we turn out the way we are in life today. You see, yeah. So society, so that's why I emphasize of choice, because society is a choice that you make. Because if we have homes that you have a father, you have a mother, but they raise up criminal children.
Yeah,
True.
that's
Yeah,
true.
a lot, millions of homes. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, and we have homes when we have children being raised by single mothers, single fathers, and they turn out top in society. Okay, I mentioned Barack Obama. Barack Obama also grew up from a single parent home. His mom. Exactly. So these are the differences. So sometimes, and believe you me, seated here, I don't miss a male role model in my life. I don't miss it. If this is how life is sweet, growing up with a single mom,
Okay.
I want it. If
Okay.
there's
Can
anything,
I
if there's
ask
anything
you
like
a question?
reincarnation, if there's anything like reincarnation,
Okay.
I want this life back. I want only my mom in my next life. If I come back,
Okay. Can I ask you a question
go on, please.
before I say what I would? Would you want your children
Mm-hmm.
to be raised the way you were raised without a father?
For me, we are in 2022. Each one, we define our families, right? The family structure of father, mother, children. Maybe it's not a standard of how a family looks like, right? Each one, I define what my family looks like. My family was my mom, my grandmother, me, and my younger brother. Four of us. That was my own nuclear family. There was no father. That was my own nuclear family, and I made the best out of it. It didn't happen by choice. It didn't happen by choice. I did not choose not to have a father, you understand, right?
I
But
didn't
it
say that.
happened like that, and I made the best out of it. So if it comes to me as well, if my children do not have a mother, or if they see themselves in that kind of situation, children also make choices. So children will make the best out of the kind of family they see themselves in. Yeah,
All
children
right.
will make the best from the kind of family they see themselves in. Because my own family was me, my mom, and my mom, grandmom, and me and my younger brother. Four.
Well,
That was my own nuclear family. Yeah.
I think I look at this thing as in terms of numbers. Like for every Egusa, there are 10 other Egusas that didn't make it. I just look at it as a game of numbers. I'm not saying like single mother homes are bad, because even there are a lot of like two parents household that don't even do as good as single mothers. But what I'm just saying is like it's the role of a father is like, how do I say this? It's
A good father,
It's very
because
that's what I'm saying.
I am not saying Adewale, sit right. Sarah, can I say something? I am not saying that fathers do not have a role to play, right?
Yeah.
They do massively. But what of those people who did not have the opportunity to have fathers in their life? They made the best
of what
they saw. Yeah, of what they had, they made the best out of it, and they turned out perfect.
That's no, I'm not talking about people who didn't have a choice. I'm speaking to the absentee fathers. So I'm speaking to them so
I had an absentee father. That's why I'm talking about.
I'm speaking to those men so that they might have a change of heart. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not like speaking to the children or the mothers because they don't. There's nothing they can do.
They're not the ones that left. It is the father
exactly. They're not the ones that left.
Yo-Yo asked about children without fathers in their life.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I inserted myself into the conversation, because I didn't have one, and I didn't see anything wrong in that. Even though I didn't have one, but I didn't see anything wrong in that. So that's why I emphasize on choice.
I'm also speaking also about the children who actually really need one, because I mean, you made the choice. There are a lot of kids that can't even get to that level.
Yeah, so it's like the very rare case.
That's what I mean. He's not very rare, but
no, we are not rare. We are a lot of us.
There are a lot of him, but they're also like, for every one of him, they're like 2 or 3 of him on the other side that can't get to that level where they can make that choice. I mean, I was the first child in my family, and there are a lot of things that I had to learn on my own. I'm the first person in my family to actually go to a university. I'm the first person in my family to actually do a lot of things. So there are a lot of things I had to learn on my own because I didn't have a choice. But my younger ones actually had more options because they had someone like me to guide them. So Egosa is kind of like the first child of the family, but there are other people that don't have that can't get to that level that they need.
That will, they don't have the will that Egosa has.
Exactly.
Not having this person in my life, I'm still going to.
Like for example, Egosa's younger ones actually took him as a father figure. He's their father.
No, we actually grew up together. We are just 3 years.
You guys, you guys grew up together, but you are actually there. Exactly, they think of a father. You're going to be the one they're going to think of. You're going to be the one because, but you didn't have a choice. You had you had to grow up yourself. But the other children that can't get to that level, and that father is needed there.
Because I'm kind of very sensitive in this topic, not just today, for many years now with my friends who grew up in with their both parents, right? Because I'm kind of sensitive with it because we are kind of like being discriminated against.
Yeah.
Because sometimes unconsciously so, unconsciously so, as if we are kind of handicapped because we never had one parent in our lives. So we kind of missed something. That's why someone like me, I always proudly say that I don't miss
anything. Yeah.
That man in my life, I don't miss it. That's why I say that if there's anything like reincarnation, I want this single mom again in my life because I had the best out of it.
Yeah. And that's your story, and that's who you are.
Yeah, yes.
But for me, I've met,
and that's why, and because I grew up, because females brought me up. That's why I even became a feminist in the process, because I saw they had a huge influence in my life. That's why I am so pro women. I'm a feminist because I see that. But why are these women so discriminated against when they are so capable of doing a very, very good job in society? You understand? Because if they are being given an equal chance in society, I mean, they'll blow the roof.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Sorry, Adewale, go ahead.
I mean, the reason why I'm not, I don't totally agree with Egusa is because I've met friends like Egusa who really did well. And I've also met friends who also didn't do well like Egusa, and they'll tell me, I wish I had a father. I wish I had a father to guide me this way. I wish I had a father to guide me that way. That's why I'm kind of. I'm kind of on the fence.
The beauty of this conversation is that both of you are representing two different demographics, and that's
exactly
perfect.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
Perfect. Because somebody will come and relate with what Egosa is saying. Another person can come and relate with what Adewale is saying, and that's amazing. Because there's somebody that is either there could be a young man or young boy watching, and they listen to Egosa, and maybe they also have very amazing women, mother and grandmother and great grandmother in their life that they probably also they're probably missing their dad, but at the same time maybe forget to appreciate what they have,
these women
and then hear what Egosa is saying, like, let me look back, just
be like, okay, in spite of everything, like,
yeah,
I still turn out great.
Yeah, and there's also people that that from the Adewale's
point of
view,
who still feel that there's a void.
There's a void. And they want, and also the fact that we're talking about your younger brother and like how you believe that your father's influence kind of helped redirect some of his choices as a boy.
As a boy, yes.
You could maybe speak to absentee fathers, and I defined absentee father in the first previous video. That absentee father is someone that can be presently absent, which means that you are physically present but you are absent. And the ones that are physically absent, emotionally, everything, they just ghost.
And
they just
and
ghost.
If you're in fact you have a child, you don't have a right to be doing that.
Exactly.
There's no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason why you should have a child and like you just up and leave. It's not right.
I like the difference of opinion.
Yes.
And I totally appreciate both of you for having this difference of opinion because you people are catering
balancing out the equation.
Balancing out everything.
Okay. Can I say one thing I also noticed between the difference between Egosa and the two sides? The thing is, I'm very sure that Egosa's mother was able to play the mother and the father role at the same time. They're women like that.
Yeah,
they're women like that. But there are also some other women who can't do that.
No, but this is my question, right? This is where I come in again. What is the mother? I don't want to make this video too long because I'm trying to digress again.
Oh, my brother.
What's the mother role and what's the father role?
Okay, as a boy's mom, can I come in? I have two boys. My husband is in their life, so I guess come in from that angle because I've been trying to just keep wait till you guys end it. But I kind of, like I said, I kind of understand where as a woman, let's just say I end up as a single mom, I have to do what I have to do to make sure that my boys turn out okay. So it sounds like if you have that energy, it sounds like that's what you gotta go. But like when Adewale says for every one of you, there are 10. I think I kind of agree in that sense. Just because I've seen this kind of go wrong. Number one, when it comes to I have two boys, right? And it got to the point where I told my husband, it's like, even if anyhow, God forbid, they were like, all right, we are done. I said, this boys must go with you because I don't have the energy. So when it comes to the, I guess we had our kids here or whatever in the US, and my husband's kind of hands-on. One thing I noticed for one, the first step, was my kids even going to learn how to pee, and literally just learning how to pee, splashing all over the place, not even getting a hold. It took my husband guiding them one-on-one. This is how it's done. You see what I'm saying? This is how, just that alone. And I could sense, my husband is it kind of could be a little bit workaholic, right? And before my son turned 5, he started talking about he wants to go to work. And then every summer, literally, he would go to work with him. How did that happen? He just kept seeing this man going to work and getting that directive. And you can just see some of the questions they went some of the advice, the way they talk to me and the way they talk to their father is totally different. And when it comes to the role of a mom, as a mom, I can be, I'm always we have that emotional outlook to things, than real. I mean, to some extent, I'll just say based on my personal experience and based on the friends that I've kind of hang around with. See what I'm saying? My son bust his head, for example. I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm all over the place. I'm even threatening there's blood all over the place, and I'm still trying to be the boy. You see what I'm saying? And it took a calm, level-headed man to just say, calm down. Let's go. I was trying to go to upper care pediatric. No, he said, no, let's go to the ER. You see what I'm saying? And it took that road to just, okay, this is how, okay, I'm going to drop you guys off here. This is how, there's just some kind of leadership when it comes to I'm a guy that wants to be in the kid's life. There's a difference there. There's a difference. The guy that wants to play a role as a dad, you could tell, like, even the way some questions that they're going to ask you is totally different from what they ask the guy. There's some leadings that, that I mean, just, I don't even, sometimes they can't even place a hand on it. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes I go crazy. I'm stressed. I'm frustrated. I can't even handle it. I'm like, go and talk to your father. I'll call my husband. Your kids are started again. No, you see what I'm saying? I literally, like, they'll be calling me mommy. I'm calling my husband like, hey, come and handle these children. Look at. And guess what? He'll be like, I'll handle it. So I'm saying, and even when it comes to like advice, like my son is like almost like there, like very soon he will still be like that puberty stage or whatever, You can just tell like some of the conversations here and there, little advice here and there. We as a mom would do my part. That's what I'm saying. But sometimes you feel like they tend to listen to this guy in the sense that they feel like they're on the same shoes, and whatever line the guy toes is the line that they end up kind of. So you see how I'm trying to mimic, especially when they are younger. I don't know what's going to happen when they become adults, And so when now that they're younger, you could just see that some little things they're picking up here and there, For example, I had my kids arguing one time, and obviously they've seen their father buy tickets if they're doing travel. So I'm saying, and I'm always the one packing their bags. Next thing I hear, my son just says, "Oh, my wife will be packing the bags, and with me, what I'm gonna just buy the tickets and pay whatever." So I'm saying that's exactly what they say. So just pretty much like that guy, that. It just I don't know if you can take that away if you have a choice.
I get what you're saying, Amaka, and just to bring in the feminine point of view, it's like I'm going to talk about where you were talking about where your husband is teaching the boys all these things of maybe as one of your sons will still enter into puberty and start experiencing certain emotions that yes he can come to you as a mom, but as a dad too there is also things that the father would say. Now come to you from a feminine point of view. For example, when we women we start experiencing puberty as girls and we start getting our periods, it's easier for me to talk to my mom than my dad because my mom has gone through that before. So just they are different. Like the role of a father is very important. The role of a mother is also very important. But what we're going to talk about the role per se, I think it's up to the families to define what those roles are. The nuclear family to define what those roles are.
Perfect, Ella. That is where I'm coming from. It depends. That's where I'm coming from. Because if we assign specific roles to specific people, then we are gendering again our families. You understand? Everybody, yes. any sex, any gender is capable of carrying out any assignment. My mom sit us down and she preached sex education all the time. Condoms, contraceptive, if you get a girl pregnant, don't do that. You understand? Every month we had a sit down. Sex education. This is a single mom, you understand, right? She does all that. I don't want to go into the details, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether a man is there or a woman is there. It doesn't matter. Okay, for example, my mom, she doesn't cry. I've never seen her cry.
But she don't think that she ever cried.
She might cry, but you might not know.
Maybe internally, or maybe inside of her, because she's the one who will come. Hey, why are you guys crying? Come on, go do this, go do that, go do that. If you sit down and be crying, who'll be doing this? She's that kind of a person because she grew up tough. Maybe her toughness came from the fact that she's a single mom. If she sits down and cry, who will do this and who will do that? Exactly. So she grew up so tough, like so tough, and it turned out well, because if we kind of assign that, okay, if a man is not there and the girl who will be there if the girl child starts seeing her first menstruation and all those things. Exactly. We are gendering roles.
Not necessarily. No. It's not gendering. If somebody it's reality, you know why I'm saying that? Because if as a young girl, we are going through our own puberty stage, the breast is getting bigger or it's paining us, or we're beginning to see our messes.
When you see somebody that passed through that,
a father, no matter how much he wants to try and explain it, he will still look for a female that would help the daughter kind of
Exactly.
understand the process. It's the same way with the boys when they're going through their own, is it wet dreams or whatever.
Wet dreams and all those things, yes.
Yeah. So that's where Amaka and Adewale they are talking. It's not really gender.
It's like a thing of connection.
It's a reality of.
It's, for example, if you God forbid anybody, you have people who have lost their parents before.
Yeah.
You can be talking to me about your pain of losing your parents. I have both parents still alive. I can never understand what that means because I have not passed through it as a human being. So it's the same way if, for example, I have a son tomorrow. I want my husband to be there with my son because I have never experienced what it means to have somebody's dick rising in the morning because I don't have a dick to rise in the morning.
Wet dreams.
But if I have a daughter,
Ella, you're going back to your word. You're going back to your word because you just said something very important that each family should define their roles. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, that it doesn't necessarily mean that a woman must be there for the girl child and a man must be there for the boy child. No.
She's saying that in my own
family, because Amaka brought up the point of saying that, for example, the kids have seen all the great work that their father does and what she does as well, and they've seen that the dad is the one that buys the tickets and the mother and she, the mom, packs the bag or whatever. However, the dynamics is within her family, but that's like her own family style. But your own family style is different in the sense that you have a strong mom, you have a strong grandma. Yeah. This is what you saw growing up. So like you never, and still to today, you never believe that you lacked anything
because your mom filled up everywhere, which is amazing.
Then can we agree on one thing? Maybe can we agree that no family structure is superior to the other?
There's no family structure that is superior to the other.
There's no family structure.
Now that's my point. That's it.
I think you're making one fundamental when I say mistake. I think you're thinking that every woman is like your mom and your grandmom, and that's not true.
No,
I'm going to explain it differently. I think you're thinking of it in terms of gender roles, but the way I see the father and the mother in the family is not in terms of role, but in terms of how the children perceive them. Generally, children perceive their fathers as security. Generally. Like even when you see family structure, the man might be doing more of the
man was there in the beginning.
That's what when I talk about a father, I'm not talking about, when I say father, I'm talking about the bad was Absentee. I'm talking about the father and the actual sense of the responsibility. Whenever you see a responsible father, the children usually see the man as security. Regardless of whatever role he plays, regardless of if he's the one cooking in the family or he's the one, washing their dishes, but they see him as like a security, and they see the mother as how do I say it, as someone to go to when they have like
comfort,
questions or emotional, but they see the father as security, someone who protects them.
Well,
this is not.
We can agree. We can agree to disagree.
And
I disagree.
I feel like I get this. I guess maybe based on the way you were brought up, like you said, that you turned out right, turned out perfect. There was nothing wrong, and truthfully, there was nothing wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Millions of others, not just me. Millions of others. I'm just a face here.
I know, obviously, yeah. Yes, I mean, which I agree. There are a lot of strong women that sometimes I'm like, even me per se, I'm like, how do single women do it? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not one of those strong ones. So maybe just God decided to just slap it on my face right now. So God forbid. So I'm saying, I myself, when I see, I have a friend, like literally, she pulls all kinds of jobs. Like if you see the way she manages her home by herself with her kids, I'm like, every time I'm telling her like she's my hero. So I'm saying, because me personally, I know like I'll go crazy, which I get that, especially but also you have to know that women are built differently. There are women that will sit up and knock their chest, say nothing. They'll send my kids to the highest school. I will do the best. They won't even feel nothing. And trust me, there are a lot of them out there. So I'm saying, And then there are also women that are like will literally shatter or break down at the absence of any man. Like there's like anything goes, in and those are the ones that talk about the environment. So I'm saying, because there's no guidance, there's no rule, there's no like, okay, this is how we can, and you can't just say a child that started off, a child that started off like, just doing whatever from a very young age, all of a sudden they'll decide to. No, the environment will definitely play a role in that point, because okay, let's just say like they live in like in a poor neighborhood, the mom is just barely scratching by. There's no any kind of figure, any kind of anybody to look up to. And I'm talking about from nowhere, the guy trying to grow up and decide to make good decisions. No.
It's possible though.
It is possible, but let's just look at the data. Let's look at adults. They'll tell you like, that was never or whatever in my life. This is how I turned out. This is what I'm saying. No, let's look at it's possible. I'm saying they'll have those outliers. Let's not act like there's no data to back this up. There's 100% data. I'm saying, there is, but I'm just saying, but then there is. That's what I'm saying. So it's not like there is, and there are millions of people still scratching, still holding strong, and still moving back. And that is why when they're talking about now, they are trying to create awareness about, especially with Africans, when you don't like a woman, or you a woman don't like a man, do not bring that to the children that you there was a movement now, because they are seeing the impact somewhere. The impact is huge. Do not bring it into the children that you bring out of this life. Your kids have nothing to do with your personal feelings for each other. I see what I'm saying. Make sure, you as a woman, make sure if as much as possible that each parent have something to give to that child. I mean, in the case that the man does not want to, the woman does not want to, then that's fine. See what I'm saying. But if you two can just say at least this is what this person contributed to my life, you know what I'm saying? It's advice based on what is going on in the society. So I'm saying, that is just overall. It's not like nobody's saying anything. No. There's no standard. Trust me, there's no family standard that is superior to anyone. That's what I'm saying.
That was what I wanted to get out of this. I'm glad I'm hearing that.
We agree on that. But I'm just saying, like, there's a fundamental bedrock of a family that you can't say that this shouldn't be there. I'm not even talking about rules, but like what I'm just trying to say is that it goes like your mother and your grandmother, they're like a different type of women. They're also women that are not like your mother and your grandmother. Like can't like raising a child alone is like when I see like single mothers and single fathers, I always remove my heart and respect them because they're doing the job of two people.
And we knew widowed men when we were growing up. That stayed for years without remarrying. Like I'm talking 20 years.
Because
those are men who
and Yo-Yo, see right, Ella and Yo, because one of the things in society where we are going back to the boy child, to the boy child, right?
Yes.
Where in society, if we see a man who is a rogue in society, and we'll say, oh, okay, he turned out like that because he didn't have a man in his life. That is so unfair. I totally disagree with that. You understand? Because even if a man, there are millions of men out there who had both parents and they turn out worse.
Yes.
Worse. Like the Hitlers and the Putin of the world today, they turn out worse. So that is why I say that, okay, because they think about the environment. Yes, I explained this quote last week. So let me just repeat it again in 2 sentences, right? Our environment shapes us, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a factor into who.
However, we have the choice to change.
Yes,
that's true. That's very true.
Yeah, it shapes us, but we have the choice now to change from the negatives of our environmental influences. You understand? We have the choice to change. So that's why I always emphasize of choice, because I may grow up in a single parent home, but I'll have a choice to choose between good and evil, just like that book says. Choose good and evil. You choose the one that's good for you. So that's why I always emphasize on choice.
We do agree that people grow up in environments. Some people will say environment is a product of the people that they throw into society, which is true because our environment is who we become. By the end of the day, we have choices. So as there are people like Barack Obama, there are people like Tyler Perry, there are people like
Tyler Perry also is good. Tyler Perry also is a good example. He grew up in a single parent home.
There are people like Endurance too. Who his father is alive, he knows who his father is. This is the first
but he's so absent.
He's still, there are people like this who, against all odds, they will still come out thriving. But for many of all these people, there are also the other ones who then say they will decide to be bad because they always have to say, I'm bad because this one happened in my past. But that's not what we're saying here. We are looking at like the negative impacts, for example,
of an absent father by choice. So we're addressing the fathers now. Yeah.
So we have strong kids who grew up without fathers and who had lion mothers. Lioness mothers. For example, we have a Gosa on the platform. If a Gosa didn't say all this today, we would have not even thought about and how passionate he is. We would have never thought about it because that's it's like it's your family style. That's what your nuclear family means to you. And it's not your nuclear family. It's not subordinate to mine because I had both my father and mother. No, that's your style. That's what you grew up knowing. That's where your values, where you collected. That is where it all came from the fruits of strong women. But there are also people who, like Amaka and Adewale were saying, that they are women, but they don't have the strength that your mom or your grandmom or whatnot had in them. Then you have these women, some of them, instead of, let's say, focusing on their kids, to become the best possible kids that they can be, some of them will end up marrying the wrong men in the sake of saying they want to look for a father figure.
Yeah, for a father figure, exactly. Yes.
So it's beyond like gender roles or whatever. And it's examples that Amaka and Adewale and myself and you were bringing up about, if a female is seeing her period or if a man is seeing, but that's the reality. Like as a woman, it might not
happen, she'll figure it out. If there's no woman there, she'll figure it out. That's life.
We will figure it out.
Every man that can figure it out.
But as a child, if I'm as a woman, I'm seeing blood coming out of my vagina from the breast, and it's like what's going on? And if nobody has taught me about that, you also have your mom who taught you about sex education. There are people from double parent, male and female parents' household that their parents never taught them about it.
Exactly, that's it.
So it's like I think the focus on the first video was the men who have these children up and down,
they refuse to be there.
They genuinely refuse. We are saying that there are some children who they could have not handled it the same way Gosa handled it, the same way Barack Obama. And not forget that Barack Obama
was raised by his grandparents.
His grandparents were also there. Tyler Perry was a strong mom. There are many men in the NBA, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, raised by their mothers. But for many people like that, there are also other people in society that still yearn and need their father's love.
Because they go to school.
As much as
they do all this stuff,
the father's love is still important. The men that chose to be absent, they should not we should not be hailing them in society.
Because that's what we're
as men that just gave birth to many, many children.
Because there are many men now, because we're seeing the impact of the absentee. I think we're going to feel it more in decades to come. You know why? Especially with this part where people are moving from Africa and they're coming to the diaspora. And you have some fathers that probably they've been in their children's life. They may not have even been the perfect role in their children's life while they were in Africa.
Good. Exactly. This topic is still
they come and totally destroy everything. Now that child is completely broken. We're addressing those fathers.
And that child would have been better off without a father.
But the thing is that that's a possibility, but we do not know. We do not know because, again, Amaka brought about the strength of the woman and support. You're getting me? The strength of the woman and support.
Endurance would have been better off without a father in his life.
But his mother is not even there either. He has not seen his mother in 4 years.
He may have been better off.
But the mom is not there.
We don't know that. We don't know that. That boy, we don't know that. Okay? Because it's
like as a child, your parents have. It's like if you bring a child into this world, why the hell are you not there? It's like if you buy a house, then you just leave it there like that.
And all those fathers that just wake up and just leave. We have a lot of them that are living in the diaspora, living double lives.
Very true.
Living double lives, and we're coming for those people because by choice they choose to break the family unit that they were already in. So they will leave their wife and their children in their abroad, or they are the ones that there are some of them that will send their wife and children to abroad to continue with their useless and irresponsible life.
Yeah,
those fathers are the ones we are dragging. Then another set of fathers that we are dragging today are the ones that are physically present, but they are absent in everything that has to do with the child's life. They leave the child for the mother to take care of. There are many children that are broken from that because you are physically there as a father, but you are not doing anything. People are going to school. Okay, they are used to seeing their other people's parents are used to seeing that person's parents, their father doing this and all that. You will be feeling bad, like, okay, I have my dad in the house. He's not even doing this thing. It's different from somebody that never had the father in the life at all. He was never present.
It's actually way worse than that. Even some fathers don't even know the class their kids are in.
Exactly.
Like the year.
Yes. So
I love friends like that.
Absentee fathers, they are even the ones that, so for example, now the kids that they never knew who their father was. They're also the ones that they know who their father is, but they just know that there's an imbalance. Because, for example, in the case of some African Americans, where you hear some black men talking about you say, okay, your father, you know he's there, but he just does not care about you.
And that's even worse.
Or he's having kids everywhere.
That's worse.
That is even worse than when, like, or from the get-go, you just know that, okay,
it's not there.
Yes. I'm not waiting for him to come and pick me up on visiting day. I'm not waiting for him to send cards. I'm not, you know. So it's like, it's a very, very
imbalanced stuff in the child's life.
Different branches.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Because those are the kind of fathers we're addressing today.
For the single moms out there that
single parent mom and single parent dad.
Single parent mom and single parent dad that we are calling them the lions because lions are king of jungle. Lions and lioness that they took on both roles of playing dad, playing man and woman. They took on both roles. Like, it's a lot.
Protector and nurturer.
It's a lot of work. Not to say that women cannot also protect their children or whatever, because we know how women can be when it comes to whatever happens with their children. But at the same time, we have to recognize that two people made these children and two people are responsible for those children.
Yes.
I think it's a very dicey topic for me, because sometimes when I see two sides of it, where single mothers and single mothers mostly are demonized. I don't like that. I also don't like when
that
was
my fear also.
That's I guess that's where you're coming from. I also don't like the other side.
I'm glad that you're
that's why I understand you completely. I understand where you're going, but I'm also coming from the side where, like, men are now using that as an excuse not to be in their children's life. Because I've seen that a lot of the times where the men will just, man, their mother is there, she'll be able to handle it, and it's not always true. It's not always, like, I'm telling you, one single person raising a child is like, sometimes I always say it's almost impossible, because it's too much. It's a whole human being. If
my mom once said that, wow, I'm lucky that I just have those two of you. That if you were
exactly
and
that
two of you also made the choices to be turned out to be very cool, be high quality.
Exactly.
Because people who their single mothers sacrifice everything, but they are still douchebags. You also have some single mothers who we also not learn from what has gone on with them, but they will go and be having children with other men instead of, like, it's.
Because we heard stories of, single parent homes. Sometimes, like, we had a neighbor down the street, he will sell the TV, but by the time the mother came back from work, he has sold the TV. He will sell the puppies.
Exactly.
He would, they always sell things. But those scenarios, I'm talking about another single parent just down the street, right? She even passed away a few years ago. Okay. But if it comes to our household, such things never, ever happened.
And they go, sir, you know why?
Because of the kind of
your mom and your grandmom, values in you. You and your brother, you chose to be good people. Choice. That's where the thing of environment, family, and choice comes.
And today, my grandmom even, I'm speaking at a personal point of view, my grandmom even contributed in making me an introvert, because I was tied in the house until when I was going to the university.
Introvert or extrovert?
Introvert. You dare not stay out after 6 o'clock.
They're protecting you.
Right until the age of 18. I'm being serious. That's how disciplined we were.
Like, even like sometimes when I look at even like men and women who turn out to be like very successful, they come from single mother households. When I look at their single mothers, they're very, very strong women. They're not just like anyhow kind of, like, very strong women. And that's where I understand, like, I understand why these children turn out okay. But then I've also seen like single mother household where the mom is even overwhelmed, like she's already overwhelmed providing for the family.
She'll be seeking for the pastors as a father figure.
Exactly, it's a father
or
figure
the
because they know they
talk
can't handle
the neighbor to talk to the
the
son.
boys, especially if you become stubborn and all those.
Exactly.
If you become stubborn.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact. I'm even going to say something very personal. My father actually in the early 2000s tried migrating to America. So he was one of these victims of like agents who take like Nigerians from Nigeria to Libya, and not from Libya then they go to Italy. But my dad didn't go to Libya. He first went to the country I'm currently in right now, the Netherlands, and then he tried going to London from France because there's an underwater train from France to London. I don't know if it still exists, but he was caught there, and he actually spent like 6 months in French prison. This is like personal story.
That's so sad.
And he was there while my mom was trying to provide for us in Nigeria, all because he wanted to like go overseas and like give us a better life. And then he said that he actually almost took his own life in prison, and what stopped him was me. Wow. He said that he just kept thinking, like, if I leave this boy alone, he knows that my younger ones, because I'm the first child, they're most likely going to look up to me. And he says that I must not turn out bad. He that was what was keeping him alive. He actually had a chance to stay in France and make a better life, but he realized that the most important responsibility he has as a father was me, and he moved back to Nigeria.
Amazing.
And I'm till today, I'm always grateful for that decision he made, because I know for a fact my mom is great and everything, but I know for a fact that she could not handle all of us, especially my younger brother at that age.
Yeah, I get you.
I can extend. That's why I'm also on the other side of Egusa's argument. That's where I am coming from.
It's a balanced argument.
Very balanced. And balanced. I like it.
I'm admitting the fact that my mom is not like Egusa's mother and grandmother. She cannot handle it. I'm not saying she's not a good mother, but she cannot handle the responsibility of raising us alone. And there are a lot of women like my mother. That's where I'm coming from.
I appreciate you, Adewale, for sharing your story, because it kind of added
it gives context
to what we're talking about, and then also for the first video.
Yeah, for anybody who might be watching up to this point, sorry, Yo-Yo, and you are confused, we did a first story, My African, about this. You see the picture here. You can.
Yeah, it is connected to endurance. Yeah.
Yes, very connected to endurance. And you see, at the point of even the point of where Adewale's dad was also thinking of taking his life, just like endurance was thinking of taking his life. He had to think of his purpose, the purpose why he has to be alive. And he said, "My first son." It's like a son of hope. It's like if the father thought about. Your father probably talked about his lineage.
And thought that all the responsibility that was for him would then become Adewale's own. And that is not supposed to be so.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not supposed to be so.
So he made the responsible decision. Yes. He made the responsible decision to come back home. Because he knows that if he makes it right for Adewale, if he tries his best to make it right for Adewale, at least the rest, most likely they will turn out okay. You know, parents to say if the head is not good, the rest of the children is.
Yeah, if the head is of a fish is rotten, then
the rest is like okay. That's
Amaka, you've been muted for so long.
So Adewale, we appreciate your father for making that wise, difficult, common sense, responsible decision.
And we also appreciate Egusa's mom.
Yes,
look at the human being that you are. God.
Yeah, that's like I actually want to say like Egusa, your mom or your grandmother are very exceptional.
They're writing all these things in the book.
They're very exceptional. They're very, very exceptional.
No, I agree, because when Adewale said that he knows that his mom can't handle it, I think I fall in that category.
Yeah.
When I know, I'm like, God knows I can't. I'm not even gonna lie, If anything goes none, I'll tell my husband, let me just have that visiting right. Carry yourselves,
See,
they
right,
go.
I want to say something, right? Single mom, most single mom, I think they are single mom not because of choice, it's by chance, right? It's not a choice.
True.
I believe that, Amaka, if you become a single mom, if you were a single mom, you would have handled it. I'm telling you.
You don't know that.
The strength will come from a place where you will never imagined. You will move on with life. You handle it. That's it.
Oh,
Me, I actually pray that Amaka does not become a single mom.
Amen. No, I agree to that.
No, I'm saying that if it were the case, you would have handled it.
Yeah, I get the same, because you don't know the kind of strength you have until you don't have on the choice. I get it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Like for me, when my mom was alone, I saw how she struggled, especially my younger brother. I saw it.
And some boys can be very stubborn. No, so I kind of understand what you're saying. Some boys,
younger brother.
God, is it the one that will go and play soccer and break somebody's thing, or cut leg, or be
fighting, their head will be bleeding,
or gather all their rotten socks and play soccer Monday to Friday and put inside bag?
Dead drop from the banister. Just dead drop. Go to an island and dead drop. No, that dead drop. Not even try to hold yourself. Just boom. What are you trying to prove? You know.
I remember my younger brother. Whenever he was hungry, he liked like bananas a lot when we were young. And if he doesn't get that, the whole street is not going to be at peace, because he just cry, run, and my mom would say, "What do I do? What do I get?" But she would run and start looking for where they sell bananas. And he was not even up to 5 then.
Your dad was like that when he was a young boy, or maybe somebody your mom's lineage, a man, or even woman, your mom's lineage was like that, because you cannot just be executing.
You know why I was saying this? Because when I was in secondary school, my mouth sharp. Not be now when I don't calm down. Because I used to say, what God did not give me height, He gave me mouth, so nobody would do anything. But when I was growing up, I'll be hearing, I think my mother used to say, "Lady, you have to be calm. In my days, I was this, I was that." Until we went for a friend's son's wedding. They opened my mama and she there, talking about how she was and how feisty and all. I said, so you people begin to make me feel like I'm possessed. And my maternal grandmother,
also feisty,
who is my godmother, very feisty. So they had them. I don't know whether they had like 11 and some children died. And at that time, in those days, they were telling my maternal grandmother, she has to marry. She said no. They tried to force her. She said no. She's married to her first son. She know they marry again. That woman is so independent, so strong. So somebody say, "Oh, yo, this Chris, he's from somewhere. He not be from environment. Now bloodline. His bloodline. His bloodline. So who knows that they were maybe your dad lost banana a lot."
Yeah, my mom says so, but I was like, there are a lot of things he used to do when I was young. I was like, where does he get this from? Because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I could because we were kind of afraid of our father to a certain level. But my brother was like the first person to stand up against him. And I was like,
he's standing up against himself.
I was like, what would you do? And my mom was just there quiet. She was just laughing.
Yeah.
So like I guess I'm just saying, like, for me, it's just like I still want to speak to the absent fathers, because they are the ones that are causing these problems. For me, they are the ones that are causing this problem. Because I mean, my own is like, if you're not sure that you're not able to raise a child with someone, don't have kids with them. Don't. If you're not sure, like if you know that yes, you can't, you're not going to be in the same, you can't be in the same like vicinity with someone, don't have kids with them. Because once you have kids with them, that person is in your life forever, whether you like it or not.
Yes,
they're going to be in your life forever. Like I saw a video recently of a man who went to see his kids, and he realized that he had like twin sons, and he realized that their hair was bushy, and his ex, the mother, didn't really notice it, and he took the kids to the barber shop and cut it. And then the mother came, was like, why would you? What gives you the right to cut my children's hair? Where did you cut it? What gives? I'm like, he's their father.
Exactly.
Yeah, we need to talk about those kind of women too, because they're also like part of the problem, you know.
And the man, even the man couldn't even say, like, he couldn't see anything. Then I realized that there are a lot of things he has done to that woman that's making him kind of return the bitterness with bitterness. And they were doing it in front of the sons. I'm like, you guys are traumatizing these kids.
This needs to be addressed though, because at the end of the day, nothing that the guy has done to you has nothing to do with the children that you guys made together. I feel like the time has come when as Africans we need to start stepping away from that mess. It's what I'm saying. You know, I don't use my child against me. Don't use, you know, we had those kids together. It has nothing. Like, I don't understand when women, you take away that power. Like the power of, you're not going to hurt me again. Let's just say like the worst case scenario. Someone, you know, the biggest thing is infidelity, right?
It's not just women though. It's not just women that do it.
I mean both sides. But I'm talking about. But no, I think no. Trust me, I'm a girl, right? I'm going to tell you. I think we have it worse because 99.9% of the time it's like the men leave and then leave the kids for the women overall, and then just have, like, you know, try to be there in the child's life as much as possible. So that's majority of the time the women have primary custody. So you see them just interjecting this little doing all this little childish behavior. I'm like, what is going on? This guy cannot hurt you anymore. Then I was like, okay, he used to slap you around when you guys were together. But if taking away that power, you've left the fool. See what I'm saying? So that relationship shouldn't, except maybe the person is like, for me personally, I think maybe the person is like a molester that doesn't draw a line between anybody else and his kids, or an abuser, like an extreme abuser, or like something is really, really terribly wrong. That's the only one reason why you should just withhold those children from the guy, or maybe a druggie, you know. Then these are reasonable. You're trying to save your children from themselves or from their bad parents. That's what I'm saying. But not that I'm hot because you left me or because you used to slap me around. Nobody can ever. I would never understand. And I've had that argument with many people. I would never understand that. When we're together, can you imagine? He talks to this my friend. How dare him do that? Okay, you've taken away that power. That law has been taken away, and it's like the person cannot hurt you in that way anymore. So the more you start trying to like do all this poking and playing all those games, I feel like that's the more you yourself getting hurt and getting sucked back into the whole mess. You know, the law, the whatever thing you guys sign, document sign, like he will come on Saturdays and pick up the kids at 9. And then the door, they go. I really would not understand that. Sorry. And I feel like that's also one thing that we also need to address as women on our own, you know.
Yeah, I think in the African community we don't believe in co-parenting. I don't know why.
Really messed up. Like really, like it's really messed up, you know.
It's just really messed up. On the women's side, they'll prevent the man from seeing the child. Like
even in Nigeria, if they send the woman out of the house and it's a rich man, whatever, the rich man to prevent the woman.
Exactly.
There's a very popular politician that is doing that.
That does it exactly. Even sometimes the men go to the extent of telling them like, your mother is this, your mother is that. They'll start like poisoning the mind of the children. Like, you don't do that. The worst thing that you can do to a kid is making that child decide between you and the father and the mother. You can't do that. Yeah. It's like you're tearing that child apart. Yeah. That's what you're doing. That's what, like, I don't know, in African community we don't see that. It's like our emotions are involved.
We don't see children as human beings now.
We see them as weapons. That's what we see them as weapons. Exactly. As weapons, that's what we see them as. Yeah. And then what is it KK? I'll call him KKF because I don't want anyone to attack me. KKF is he's using this kids as weapons. Yeah, exactly. And he's calling the mother his kids is it a wizard or witch? I don't know. Yeah. And it's just messed up. It's just messed up.
And then there are no laws or no rights in the country.
There are no laws in the country anyway. So
and it's very painful.
It's just painful and sad, really. Like when it comes to like whenever a society is not a good one and is lawless, the people who suffer the most are usually the kids anyway.
Yes.
So
yeah,
that's like women and then kids. women, kids. That's how it is. And Nigeria is a very good example of that.
Very, very true. Very true. We derailed a lot with the premise of this video, but for you people to understand, go and watch that the first
video was fire
about the story of endurance. And I think part of what Egosa also brought into this show, if I want to tie it to what we're talking about today and the plight of Nigerian women, he spoke about single mothers and how they are demonized in the Nigerian society.
Yeah,
that's another example of discrimination and power imbalance.
Yeah,
in society as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. They shame them and all those type of. I think that's ridiculous, though. I think that's very ridiculous and very mean.
Very, very mean. Very, very. You will not. Well, we have said a lot of things in this video. So
make we round up now. It has been an awesome. I'm very happy that
it was a very, very great show.
Yeah, I like today's conversation. I really liked it.
It is because of people we brought it to.
Yeah.
I'm glad I joined in, even though I came in late. I was just like, I was just saying, look, I take it for a 2-day live, so I'm glad.
We're so happy that you came in because I know that you're very busy today. So when I saw you coming, we're like, at least you come and talk. Yeah, it's very nice. I like the fact that we all had like different opinions, different, diverse, and which is kind of representative of what different parts of society represents. So when people come and watch the video, we try to cut some parts of the video too. People come and watch, they can relate to any person that is speaking, any individual. And then I think it also made them feel like, okay, I'm not alone in this thought process and all those stuff. So I appreciate you all for your time. I'm glad that people enjoyed the conversation. We entered different conversation today, Sha. We went to the release. We dragged the project. We went to church. You need to watch the first video. We dragged the vagabonds in Agbada. That's what we call absentee father. Vagabonds in Agbada.
We went to church today. We learned people about church.
I enjoyed the dragging.
We did a lot of things.
You did it on my behalf wherever you know.
We did drag. Even if people are going to say, "Oh, maybe because we're on the screen, that's why we're dragging." If I meet you in person, I just need palm wine and I swallow. I sit down.
We still drag
with my research data. I will drag you.
And the dragging is for your own good to change for the betterment of society.
Intellectual dragging.
So not like you just come and.
It's not drag. It's not a drag.
It's for your own good.
Thank you so much, everybody. Any final words, either to the constitution, to anywhere you want to end it?
Well, my own final word is like, whenever you say a single mother, if you don't have anything nice to say, just stay quiet. If you can't support them, just stay quiet, because they are, for me, I always see them as superwoman because they're doing the job of two healthy parents. So if you can't support them, if you can't help them, just go away. I mean, that's the least you can do. Don't
interfere.
Don't interfere or try to demonize them or try to tell them. Even some people in our society will try to push them to go get married to some men that are worse than the absent fathers. So don't even do anything. Just stay where you are. If you can't support, just stay where you are. That's it. That's it.
And please, I know that final words is for absentee father topic, but for this one topic too of this nonsense culture and whatever that's in Nigeria.
I know as a society, it's very hard for us to see women as equals or human beings. That's my own fight. If you see any African or Nigerian woman, at least just give them encouraging words. Don't try to say bad stuff or try to see. Just encourage them. Like, at least all the Nigerian or African women I've met in my own life, I've tried to support them, like, not financially because I'm not rich, but like I try to teach them stuff, encourage them wherever there's intellectually, wherever they're struggling. I just try to do that because I think that's the least I can do, because I know what their positions are in the society. I don't deny it. There are a lot of people who like to do it. I've looked at it I've looked at it at different angles, and I've seen that this is the major problem we have in our society. And don't go online and start dragging it. Because I see that a lot on Twitter. People start arguing this, especially this Ukraine war. people were saying that we're the feminists, like when the men they're asked to fight the war. Like, whenever I know, I have this radar in my head. Whenever I know there's an argument about feminism or women or men issues, I always know when that argument is going to. I knew that Ukraine women war thing was going to enter. It was just a matter of time.
Yeah.
That's a useless argument because it doesn't make any sense.
And Odewale is very, very crazy because people forget that during the NSAS, who was at the forefront? Was it not
was a woman?
That's like they shoot bullets. They move.
Obviously, Adewale, that's my favorite topic. If it comes feminism, gender,
and also, let's not forget that.
because I will not allow anybody to disrespect women because I was raised by women. I will not allow.
Me, I don't even join the argument because for me it's just pointless.
No, maybe those people are not really watching the news, because if you watch the news, you also see the key roles that women in Ukraine are playing. But some of them haven't learned how to make bombs, hand bombs. Some of them have actually joined. There's a woman that actually joined the husband in the forefront. There's a lot of women that stayed back to fight. So if you go, maybe they're not really watching the full blown. They're just watching what they want to watch and then say what they want to say. Because
I don't even want the women to fight because the war is not even about them.
That's the thing. Women, no, not the women in the army, like layman, like a woman that she was watching her husband pack up to go, and she was like, where am I going to leave the border for? I beg. She just literally packed her bag and followed her husband. Woman said she learned how to make hand grenades on Google. Yes. Can you imagine that? And then you see even like an old woman that actually went to the border and accosted like a something-year-old woman that went to go and accost like one of the Russian armies. They're dead. So it's just like people always find a reason. Like if they're looking for something or looking for what to say, they always find something to back up their useless ideas or whatever they want to put out there.
I don't even want women to even fight the war because the war is not even about them. One and two. I want all of them to leave the country and let the men fight the war, because if they are there, I don't know if victims of war are mostly women and children.
Yes.
Once the men are gone, they attack the women. So why would you want the women fighting the war? I don't understand. But I guess it's the argument like Twitter doesn't make sense for me. It's entertainment anyways. But I see a lot of people who go there and you spend your energy and arguing. That doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's the women around you that matter. How do you impact their lives?
I feel like let's put our money where our words or whatever. I don't know how that sentence goes. Some women, if we're all saying that we want to be treated equal, we want to be, like I said, we want to be feminist and everything. And then when the time comes, you're like, you're not me. I'll be the first to pack up and go, to tell you the truth. Okay, I'll just be packing up and tell my husband, they say make una meet for the other street. Okay, I'll see you guys. See you. Hopefully you're safe. I'll be praying for you. That's me. But some people are like, which go where? For that, I like I said, I'm gonna remove my hat for them, cheer them on from my little corner. That's what I'm saying, but I have no problem.
It's not even about you. For example, now, if war in Nigeria, how many Nigerian men go stay to fight in Nigeria? How many Nigerian men? Who wants to die in war? That's the question. There are some people that have strength to say they honor their country and all that. They will die for the Lord. They will die for this. Know your strength, too.
No, I really, really respect the people of Ukraine, because that's another thing. That'll be another topic, maybe another topic for the next day. Cowards. Cowards are like when you're running from people and they're gonna keep chasing you. I can't just be in my house. You come from nowhere and want to I love that zeal. I wish we as Africans can have it. So let's protect our land. Let's make this place the best place that it can be. So I'm saying. So whenever I watch this man, go, even the president, for crying out loud, he used to be like a comedian not too long ago. Come on, I really, really admire them from that angle, and what he actually brings for me is like, oh my God, how as we as Africans, when are we going to have the zeal towards our land, towards our motherland? You know what I'm saying?
Patriotism is not deal. Every man for himself, God for us. So.
The land has to be fruitful for us to fight for it. Anyways, that's the thing. Exactly. Even the Ukrainians know what they're fighting for. Anyway, so Ukraine for me it's like someone fight. It's the way they are geographic is like someone trying to go in the middle of two people fighting a war. You're always the one that suffers. Like you see two people punching each other, and then you go like you insert yourself, but they're going to punch you. So the war is actually mainly between NATO and
that one
the US and Russia. That's a discussion for another day.
That one that their own business. Sorry, inside this place. Sorry, Adewale. Now, please continue your final words.
So that's my own. Is like as a man, at least as an African man, just need to acknowledge that in your culture, once you can acknowledge, like in your culture, women are seen as less than. You know what you're supposed to do. However little you can, just help out. Help out. That's just the thing. It's not about arguing on social media. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't at all. So that's all I want to say. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Adewale. It is very true. Men,
bye.
Bye-bye. Men, realize that you have privilege. People in privileged position, they don't want to let go of the privilege, but you have to see that your privilege is fruitless for the female kind. It's not helpful. And it's also not helpful to you because toxic masculinity is there. Go and watch the video on toxic masculinity.
I like the way Adewale used to say bye-bye. They be like, say, we drive.
It's very nice.
Then you want enter car, one way to say bye-bye.
We'll have final words from Mama.
Amaka, what are your final words?
We'll end with Egosa since we began with Egosa.
Because I would drink the palm wine yesterday.
Yes.
Well, I'm not.
Madam President.
Well, my final words. Overall, I feel like it's a process when it comes to like respecting women and just giving women in society. Obviously, we're changing. Is a change coming in, but I don't think it's at a rate where it's gonna be prominent in our lifetime, though. I don't think it's going to be prevalent in our lifetime, if to tell the truth. That's what I'm saying. Because
what if we live for 120 years?
Be optimistic. Be optimistic about that.
It will happen in my lifetime.
I know as a friend. Now this same every time
it will happen. Our level cannot be there.
Okay. Number one, you don't have to look at the gender. We as women do not support each other. You also have to think about it that way. You know.
Some men too know they support each other. That thing.
That is some. You can count them out in 20. Let me tell you something. If two men go, a man go just do do and undo. You call him friend from nowhere, and your friend did this on that. They'll find a way to keep defending. Women, you don't even have to do anything. They're gonna be the one going. And it's not even. Men 100% stick together. No, let's call it spade a spade. That's what I'm saying. When you can, there's no way you can ban. Like when you talk about the market women, and imagine a market. Why is there not like why is the governor of Lagos said not a woman? And all this high political. No, because we women will tend to look down on each other and we tend to pull ourselves down. That is the reality. You see what I'm saying? So we don't even know what we're fighting. Are we fighting ourselves? Are we fighting the society? Are we fighting men? You see what I'm saying? But let me just go by you guys, be optimistic, and hope that maybe our children's children will experience, the robustness of women being there, right?
That's the dream. That is a dream.
That is my optimism. I'm being optimistic here. In the next 2,000 years, we have not seen it,
Some steps have been taken already. We are not on ground zero yet. I mean, we have taken some steps.
It's like a step forward and a step forward. Maybe all this exchanging these ideas, being conscious about not always looking to bash a woman. Let me not even start with this whole Cora Obidi and how women are busy jumping up and exactly. That's what I'm saying. I've had arguments and even like cussed out one of my very good friends because I said, what did this girl do to you? She's this one. Meanwhile, they are going to be posting all kind of lovely messages on the guy's page. Well, let me just, as always, I'm going to end as a bitter baby. So I'm saying, let's just hope to see a bit better tomorrow as far as this case is concerned, you know. But I always say, what I always say is, as women, we are stronger than we have to give ourselves credit for. Nobody has the right to judge you other than yourself. As long as you're not killing anybody, as long as do whatever makes you happy. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to even the bad treatment, so nobody can treat you bad if you don't give that person that right. You know, if you put your stamp on and say you cannot treat me this way, guess what? The person cannot treat you that way. You know, and hopefully, I mean, I guess I'm just saying it's one step at a time as far as you know, seeing a better future for ourselves where, you know, women are protected and we're respected, and where we pretty much maybe rise, you know, and seeing a better future where men take up the responsibility they're supposed to, like what Adewale said. If you know you cannot, you know, handle this a woman or whatever, you know, do not give them a child. And even if you do, being able to just stick up and take that responsibility, you know, putting away whatever feelings you have aside and just, you know, just face that responsibility and face it squarely. Yeah. All right, ladies, I hope I made a little bit of sense. If not, I beg. Make what I manage. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. I guess I'm not giving self name for this squad. He dodged that one.
We have started with Gosa.
Wow, sisters. I think this should be your longest show yet, right?
I think so.
I don't know. We've done about 3 hours before in the past.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think our early lives.
I see. Wow, yeah. It was a great show, sisters, and I'm really grateful for this platform where you allow us to really express ourselves without judging. You know. Yeah, I'm really grateful. Today was a very great show.
Yeah, it was.
My last word. Do I have a last word?
Not the last word. Anything. Last ranting.
Yeah.
Because the first live show, it was very, very short.
Yeah.
So yeah. This part of the scenes for the first
live show. For me, it's about time men become comfortable.
Eunice, you are late. Eunice, you are very, very late. You have to watch the video from the beginning.
Eunice is coming when market on the close.
When market on the close, and Eunice asked today.
I won't come by. When market on the close, Eunice.
Today we feel you in. Today has been yes.
Today they go buy Heineken for Amaka.
Today went to market, bought Heineken and come back. And so please, today we feel you.
You share with me now. Tunde, share with me that Heineken, I beg, even small.
Today you not gonna give us Heineken. We waited the other day, so nothing for us.
It's okay. Today,
it's all right.
Heineken they give Madam President.
It's okay. It's all right. Please, carry on, Jared.
Oh yeah, so yeah, women should be allowed to express themselves in society, to be who they are, to have an equal participation in society without being discriminated against. And as for men should allow women to be who they want to be. Men are living in the society where they have all the privilege, and male privilege, you understand? So it's about time where they have to eradicate this thinking of it's a man's world. It should be that it is our world. You understand? Yeah. It is our world. It is not a man's world, you see. And I'm passionate in this kind of topic based on my background that you've had an idea today. Based on my background, yeah, I wouldn't like to see women being discriminated against. I wouldn't like to see women being talked down because of most especially because of my background. Yeah, and that's why I even went back to school and did another degree in gender studies because I'm so passionate. I was so passionate about it. Yeah, so passionate about gender, and I went back to school and I did gender studies, and it's amazing. It broadens the mind, it opens your horizon and all those things, you know. Yeah, so that's it. So we all should be feminists, men, women.
I am a feminist.
Egosa.
We should be feminists, yeah.
Egosa, thank you so much for this thing. Before I even make message,
Eunice is reporting herself here.
Eunice, our darling. Eunice, I beg you. On my knees with sackcloth. May you not be in sackcloth. You will be in correct clothes.
You will be in royal.
And you will be standing upright. Was making dinner for my people. Hey, wait. The problem now be saying you not tell us what you cook.
You make because you forget us.
Dinner will be indomie. I go to come with Gosa. I will do myself by liking the video. I watch the replay.
When you watch the replay, watch the ads. So.
And you go put comment. Now by your comment, we're gonna say you really come. Wait till today they talk.
Today say we're more champagne than Henneken. Today you're discriminating upon Henneken.
Who tells you I like champagne? But you know go ask who like champagne.
We go take them.
I don't like champagne.
We take palm wine over the
now palm wine with a drink today.
Palm wine.
If you have been following the common sense sister, you gonna say palm wine now with a drink.
They said the dinner even born.
We go shopping like that. Now soup gonna be now waiting born. Sorry, Gosa. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just want to make them laugh, Jerry. Gosa, with the way you're talking, you're stimulating my brain. Now, I feel like we can run topic on this stigmas of single parenting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, kind of figure out, this is my suggestion. Make you try to figure out topic. I don't think that's a nice, I think that will be the name of the topic. Then we can just go and do research on it and kind of do it.
Yeah, that's a good one. You can shape it and I'll send you an email.
And if you have, and you're seeing our emails, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll send you an email.
Yeah, and if you have ideas and all those things, and even if we have to do it as a series,
we'll
suggest it.
We'll
do it.
And anybody as well, not only Gosa. So if you whatever, if you think of topics or whatever,
if we see a trending video that
if it's on Instagram, you can
that will make a good topic of conversation. We can
you can let us know. We have a lot, but also we will also want to hear what people want to talk about.
And if these are things that people are passionate about, because like the story we did, the first story, right? We already had it in place for February, but because it was a relationship liaising period,
wanted more relationship.
And then last week, Adewale now said, "Oh, what about absent?" He just said, and he didn't really pause. He just kept on saying, so me and Ella were like, "Okay, fine, we have to bring this book today."
Yeah. I think the stigma of single parenting or single parenthood, it will be kind of a part 2 of the last segment of this show of what we're talking.
So you can send us an email with ideas or whatever or anything like that. We really appreciate it because we know that
so very thankful for Egosa's
Yeah,
contribution.
well, asking Egosa, like see people now. Now me will read the accolades. Egosa, you make me proud that you declared to be a feminist. We dey wait for Egosa title. The title they cook. They cook.
Tell us what he wants to be.
I don't know. One of my friends insulted me. You feminist. One of my very good friends. You feminist. I was like, when the feminism?
Tell your friends.
Feminism is the definition of feminism. It is simple. Recognizing that women are being discriminated against in society, and you lend your voice to make a difference. That is the simplest form. You understand? So what's wrong in
that's strong men, the feminist?
You know that some friends don't really know.
And advocating for equality. Since when did it become an insult?
They say you feminist. Say, hey, you toxic masculinity, man.
No. When your friend they are showering video where only your voice today. You know that part where we cut. When your friend don't know, say you are a high personality on this platform.
Yeah, they don't people that don't recognize kings.
You don't know say you be celebrity for you.
Thank you, Tunde. Thank you, Eunice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, we love our platform as well.
Yeah. So we appreciate you, Egosa.
Did you allow Egosa to finish his final words? I mean, just interrupt.
No, I finished already. I finished. I did finish.
Now the part when I tell him, say he talked about that gender studies and all those things, so which means that he must have a lot of ideas for different topics and all that he knows he's passionate about, but it's also the fact that
he's well educated in it.
He can also help when we come and talk about it, and everybody have a panel and it spreads awareness and common sense, things like that. So
that's true. Very
obviously, whenever he has time to email.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And thank you, sisters. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care and make sure maybe they work on your assignment of this title.
Yes.
No pressure, but I know when it comes to you, just come.
Thank you, Amaka. Thank you so much, and I thank you too for a great time. We had a great time. Yeah.
All right, take care now.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye. Rendezvous next week. Bye.
Yes, next week. See you. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
And now we have come to the end of today's segment.
Before we give our final remarks, people should watch our malicious jingle.
Let's go and eat. What do you mean Nigeria? Item 7.
Eunice says she's the only one that can go.
Eunice, come and see food.
Eunice, this food. Make her show you this one.
Welcome to Yo-Yomi-alicious, the best Nigerian online food service in Toronto, Canada. We deliver to Toronto, Concord, downtown Toronto, Etobicoke, North York, Thornhill, Vaughan, Woodbridge, Mississauga and Scarborough. Order now at yoyomialicious.com. A unique taste of Nigeria. Follow us on Instagram at yoyomialicious. Like and share this video. Nigeria to the world.
What is common sense without good food?
Yeah. Every live video we're gonna play this jingle for now.
If you know that you are living in the Greater Toronto area, make sure you head straight to your militias. Prepare for the week for your family. Place an order. Place order for your family. Let your family be secured commonsensically and nutritionally. You know what I'm saying? And those of you that you have friends and family and enemies in the Canada, of the inside of the Ontario, of the Toronto, Mississauga, and all the GTA area things, order for food. Good food, quality food. Wouldn't it be nice to see the common sense sisters appear as your militias to feed you with commonsensical reasoning and good food made in real time on the day the food is coming to you. Okay.
Yeah, you need to say, stop it, you girls. Oh wow, I need to get a contact for another person. This is this Greater Toronto area.
Go your militias. Every information is there. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not via email. The website is there, so that was
go to the website.
yourmilitias.com. You can order from there.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all those who are silently watching. We appreciate you. For those who newly subscribe to the channel, we thank you and we appreciate you. We appreciate you because you have taken the big step to come and be collecting and be sharing common sense. So that's a very good achievement, and you should be proud of yourself for doing that.
Yeah, you have a badge of honor of common sense.
Spreading the gospel, and then you now become privileged to comment in the live show. Eunice, go to the website. We deliver to downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
Go to the website.
There's a lot of food there.
Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, and then we have certain days that we deliver on the time. Yeah. The website is very.
There are FAQs on there. If you have questions, you can also send us. Like there's also an
email and everything. Just go there. The website will serve your needs. Okay. And then we also appreciate those people that are commenting in the live show. You all make it very interactive and interesting. Some people will comment something they want to fall asleep. They go say, "Come on,
some people will say, yeah." Some people will say, "That's work." I see commenting though.
Yes, and we thank you. We thank you for those who call into the panel.
Who rushed to call into the Amaka rushed for the second show. Even Adewale rushed for the second show.
Then it goes and couple us for the first show. It goes and couple for the first show, but the second show, he said it is push and you know, Toby called and all that. So we appreciate you all and for your time. We hope that you have a wonderful week. And tomorrow on the first day of spring, we hope that the new season of spring will be springiliciously beautiful and amazing for you and your family. And until we see you next time, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up.
If you're rewatching the video like Eunice, watch all the ads.
Watch all the ads. And then be sharing it.
Share it.
So
don't keep
you
this
learn about
yourself.
vagabonds in Agbada and
Many things we talk about in this video. Please share it.
Russia. Yes. So we gotta go. Until we actually see you by this time next week,
2 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check the community tab on Thursday or Friday for the voting panel for the next week
polls and everything.
Okay. Yes, this is not the final one. Until we really see you
next week, Saturday.
May common sense never depart from you. Bye.